Hey, welcome back to
Hello.
another Friday on another episode of
Friday.
Legacy.
Friday energy's here already, baby.
It's already kind of here. So anyway, we are. I'm gonna get right into it. 'Cause I think
Farmers.
we're a little bit. Some of us may be farmers. I'm gonna blame the country boy though. He's around here.
Somewhere.
He's probably the farmer. Anywho, what the heck was I saying? Oh, yes. I'm going to actually pass it off to a very special boy. We're not going to go too far into it, but Kibbles and Bits, introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, call me Kit. I am playing Quinn, the guy behind me who some people say looks kind of creepy. I don't know what that says about Foos who drew the guy, but okay.
How's it look from under that bus, Foos?
You literally designed the character and were like, I want him to look like this and stuff, and I make it, and you're like, it's on you. I don't know why you did exactly what I asked you to do, and that's your fault.
I don't know. I just found it where somebody was like, "Oh, it looks like he's gonna kill. He's gonna kill the player." So I'm like, "Oh goddamn, seriously? What the hell?" I think
To be fair, we kind of viewed him in that light when he first showed up before he even happened.
All right,
Straight under the bus. Straight under
Quinn
the bus.
is apparently trying to get himself killed or something because he keeps trying to touch shit that's obsidian and he keeps getting in trouble. And according to Nenners, he almost died in the last 2 sessions.
He's 2 for 2 on attempts,
Okay.
0 for 2 on success.
Okay. So yeah, he's a paladin fighter, and I'm trying to just not mess up with him. Let's see how it goes. Flandissimo, por favor.
Hello. I am Flandy, and I'm totally not multitasking at this moment. I'm here, and I play the Furbolg. I was the paladin, Warlocky wizard, with his best friend Aunt Neat, who helps make him smirch, and she is may or may not be successful at that. He likes craziness. He doesn't like craziness, but he happens to like crazy plans because that's what he does, whether he knows it or not. That's him.
He's an agent of chaos.
He is chaos. He's not even an agent. Like he's the full reins. and yeah, that's what he does. And on that, Foozca.
Hello, my name is Foos, and I'm currently defending. Never mind. I was defending my keyboard from Nub, but he just walked right on top of it. What happened?
Nothing. You're good.
Okay.
I couldn't explain it properly even if I wanted to.
I kind of want
My
you
name
to.
is Foos. My name is Foos. And I'm playing Revire tonight. Tiefling Ranger Barbarian who gets angry all the time and is kind of not happy to be in a city. Not only a city, but a desert city. Not only a desert city, but a city full of bitches. So we're going to see how that goes. And I'm just going to mini introduce Dubs, who's not here because he's in the shower. But he's, well, hold on. He is the Dubs, father of the Nubs. He falls asleep at 10:30, and he plays Katasu.
Did you do the princess wave or whatever he does?
I did. Maya, it's your turn.
Wait, what? Oh, you're right. Hello, I am Maya. I play a druid. Her name is Euphemia. She is also a changeling. Did I mention she's a druid? Yeah, because she is. So that means double the shapeshifting in one unique package. Wowza. So many shifts. Wow, okay, I got Friday brain. I just realized that. Yeah, she's been with the crew for a little bit. She thinks they're all fucking insane because every time she tries to be diplomatic with people, they seem to have a vested interest in picking fights. Or doing
one
things
person
that...
in particular.
Shut up, Revise, guilty of the same. Yeah, that it's been an interesting journey. She ultimately wants peace and love because it's druid, but has been swords full time. I'm gonna pass it over to Flandy.
I'm going to take over because poor Maya has so lost.
And here
No, I was
I
doing that on
am
purpose.
myself.
I was doing that on
Yeah.
purpose.
What up? What brings you here today?
The problem is if we don't pass it to Ninners, he can't kill us.
I'm not gonna kill you.
if we
First off, I'm not Foos.
That's true.
Second, there's 2 birthday bums in the chat, or in this particular thing. Birthday bums. That's what I'm going with. They're not actually bums, but that's what I'm going with.
Birthday.
So, happy birthday to the 2 of you, special cats. You both get a D20 inspiration. Use them very wisely because I am extremely stingy with inspirations. So,
yes, that's very true.
mainly because you beat me in rolls 90% of the time. So, I don't need to bump that up to a 95. Anyway, that all being said, do you guys have to... Anyone need to take a break or grab anything before we get started?
I don't know where my water is, but I can do that while you recap.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We are going into the recap.
Let's go.
It's going to be pretty short, but general overview is that the party has traveled to Athos on a mission to get weapons, specifically weapons that could kill the lieutenants of the Big Bad. His name is Dragoth. He is trying to steal the weave from Toril and deposit it on Athos, which would cause incredible amounts of carnage and probably incalculable, really, at this point. That all being said, they have arrived in Athos. They met an archfey, went through a couple of trials, went surprisingly well given the circumstances, although they did not without cost. They did, however, because of pleasing said archfey, were deposited at the entrance, one of the entrances of New Guistanel.
Upon backing into the scene. I'm sorry, go ahead. Yes,
Upon arrival, they were met with a rather ghastly doorbell, if you will. That's what it was called. Who was really a former sorcerer queen, currently pinned to the wall and being magically forced to open the way to the city. After some investigation, discussion with some ghosts, and a suicide attempt, they... They were able to finally get within the city. However, due to said suicide attempt, they kind of got the attention of the Templars before they even really stepped foot in the city. So they were escorted through the main gate and were asked a bunch of kind of questions. There was some actual good diplomacy going on, and by diplomacy, I mean they didn't just start fighting everybody. So I'm honestly impressed at that. The team is, however, splitting up. One is going to go to their fake destination, which is the agricultural markets of a desert city, which is still kind of sus, but they're kind of playing it off. And then the other group is going to the temple to solidify elements of their worship, which is also a lie. In reality, they are looking for a blacksmith. I'd be very impressed if they knew the name at this point, but we'll see what happens. And we're gonna continue.
No, we're gonna fight. Hold on.
So
I wrote it down.
Why are we fighting?
No, that was a Verbolg. Fuck.
Why is we're fighting? Oh my goodness.
This is great.
I just called these at the same time.
Rollin, boys.
There it is.
Roll 'em,
And
roll
his
'em.
health assistant, Eric. I'm killing it right now.
And whose assistant?
His assistant is Eric, isn't it?
You are correct, but also incorrect.
Okay, cool.
You figured it
You
out.
tell me how many. Okay, sounds good.
I'll let you. I'm trying to get to my notes page. Anyway, so
I'm trying to get to my notes page.
you guys,
doesn't know
one
if
is with the Team Templar. We'll continue with you. I will say, for those of you who are continuing to go towards the temple, which I believe was Rolam and Ravaya?
Yep.
2 best friends. I'm going to need you guys to roll a survival check to kind of
Okay.
and Revive, you're doing this at disadvantage, because you're trying to ascertain where this would be.
But Zolan's
Uh-huh.
right next to me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Zolan, despite being a city boy, is
Zolan is incredible. Okay. All right, that's an 18 for me.
I hope Zolan's the one that points out where the temple is. Rah, 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 rah.
Oh my god, he's my
Rah, rah, rah,
baby, Zolan.
Why are
We're
you
doing good
why are you puppies right now, Flandy?
because he rolled real good.
because he rolled real good, and that's what he just likes.
You
All right,
trying
awesome.
something you like, Flandy?
So Revia, despite
Mhm.
Roland's probably better traveled life, you were able to kind of discern in this outcropping of just kind of buildings and edifices. One looks more rustic than the others. There's elements of it that truly look like elements, like it's like really roughly hewn stone, if hewn at all. The splashing of water, but not in a waterfall kind of way. And then just through your own perception, the kind of flicker of firelight you kind of see in the distance in this where this particular thing is. So knowing what you know of the elements and what you guys are kind of looking for, that's kind of what you're essentially ascertaining there. Your estimate by foot, going at a civilized pace, you're probably a good 15-20 minutes out.
Okay,
To
pretty
get
close. Okay. Pretty close.
I will say also, as you kind of leave that district, you're seeing it's a pretty broad array of creatures. There's humans. You are seeing some Dre, those draconian style winged creatures. Some of them don't have wings in various stages of muscularity and height. There are some of the halflings that speak funny that you met before. There's more of them, although they're way more tribal. There's a whole bunch of like really cool face paints and lots of reds and browns and really kind of earthy tones with them, and very, very impressive manes of hair, and best described as manes. You see also a healthy number of insectoid four-armed three-creen that you've come to. I think your first experience was getting punched by one, but thankfully they're not as violent as they are here, but as previously. But you do see a healthy amount of them as well. I think for Rollum, the big change for you would be probably how tall the elves are. They average about 7'5", give or take. They're extremely long. They're very elongated. They wear kind of loosish clothes. They're all very wiry, and they speak Elven in almost like a staccato kind of accent. It's strange, but you do kind of, you can overhear some of their conversations, and it's mostly about trade and things of that nature. But it's just an odd iteration of elf, as far as you can tell. I will say,
do we have any Templar folk following us?
Give me a perception check, please.
I am not wearing the eyeballs. I keep forgetting this. Yep. Okay. Yep. Bam. Oh shit.
Hey.
That's a great roll. All right.
It sure is.
So you're looking around, and there's nobody following you, but you are catching looks. Particularly you are catching some odd looks here and there. You have passed a few Templars, and it's one of those, like, you know, when you walk by the cops and you're like, oh, I hope they're looking. Yep. Play it cool. I say we got this, and that's kind of the situation that you find yourself in. And I'd say with a 31, yeah, you specifically notice that they're not following, but there's definitely, like, you go from one eyesight line to another. Like, you're never too far out of sight from a Templar at the moment.
Are any of the locals like wearing clothing that might hide their appearance and that looks normal, like robes or shawls or anything?
the Aarakocra, which are these kind of avian-looking creatures with mostly like kind of black and red style feathers. There is some variation in color, but not a whole lot. They wear these kind of almost shawls where you can almost only see their beak, and you're honestly not sure how they're navigating because you can't really see their eyes unless you're like underneath them. But they do the kind of walk over hunch, and they got these huge like sleeves, where you put like 4 different arms in there, kind of deals. And I think it's a cultural thing based on the patterns on those particular clothing, and they're fairly big to begin with. So it's if it wasn't for the giant beak sticking out, you really wouldn't know what they were. Outside of that, it is a desert environment, so clothing is very light, if at all, in most cases.
Cool. So one of hearing is clothing optional. Got it.
It's not necessarily optional, but like seeing people without a shirt on or a top is extremely common.
All right. I think roll them through the spores to revise and be like, I'm catching a lot more attention than I realized. I apparently thought of our half elves way more than I thought of theirs.
Well, can't say I'm surprised, but I don't think there's anything we could do to not catch attention.
Should we go to the temple proper and
You're
make
welcome
sure
to.
on our, or are we just gonna go straight to where we need to go?
I had no intention of visiting the temple.
I was just kind of like, he's doing one of those weird things where he's like just starts nodding for no reason, like.
Oh my god! I love you. We have to accomplish our mission, and better we do it sooner than later.
I can't remember. Did we make a meet up here in X amount of time plan?
We did not.
Other team, can you hear me? Come in. This is Roll on the Spores. Hello. Other team?
You would know that you're well out of range at this point. It is 300 feet, but in a city, that's not much.
Yeah.
I thought it was 200.
300.
Okay.
No, it's 800.
The spores?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 3.
I'm gonna double check my notes. Hold on. I got a page that I circled it at the top because I was like mushroom notes on this page.
Mushroom.
Gotta go find it. Yeah, whenever you like lore dump, I usually put like a big or anything important. I put like a huge thing at the top of the page.
Have you guys tried eating the mushrooms?
God damn it.
No.
How
Why
could
would
you?
eat
How
the
could
helpful
you?
mushroom?
Kid,
I'm just curious.
after
Why
you
would you
met
try?
that lovely mushroom family, how could you?
Oh.
They look delicious too. Okay.
got
Anywho,
this a long time ago, apparently.
Magic in the city. Is there going to be some magic totem that's all like magic? Get him!
Roll me an in check.
Did you say a
Roll
magic
you
totem?
I don't know.
What the fuck? Okay, mushrooms. None as you are correct. It is 300 feet because I got last 8 hours and 800 GP mixed up with 800 feet. So yes, 300 feet. You are correct. None ours.
Gotcha. Roland,
Plus
you
5.
would specifically know that you were warned several times not to cast spells in the open because that, especially arcane spells, if you did divine or things of that nature, it wouldn't be that bad. But if you cast an arcane spell, you are absolutely putting a target on your back from the public alone, not including any kind of actual law enforcement or people of import in the city. You know this almost immediately was tested and found true when you were fighting the members of the order who were calling you a preserver and trying to kill you immediately.
Right.
So, casting anything in the open comes at severe risk for you.
What if he were to cast something and then like cough at the same time, like blood magic? So he could look like one of those anime characters who are like super powerful but very sickly.
I imagine that going just as well as the person who drops the book to cover their fart and mistiming it severely.
Okay.
That's amazing.
That was incredibly specific, but okay.
That was. I appreciate that.
Traitor.
All right.
We
So-
love him, but he's a traitor.
300 feet, you were out of the range. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to. Oh, the traitor's back. Hey, what's up?
Insomnia, we love you.
We do love you.
Don't worry about what they
We do.
say.
We love you despite
Oh
your
my
treachery.
God.
I think he enjoys it. He's going to. Let's see. Where do you intend on heading? I would like to stop by the temple, but I understand we have other things to do. Plus, it
Find the
might be
blacksmith first, and then I'll go with you to the temple.
okay. Well, you cut me off, so okay. Blacksmith first.
Yeah.
I will say, just from your own both personal life knowledge, temples tend to be significantly bigger than smithies, unless
yeah,
it's like some
yeah.
kind of weird industrial thing. That all being said,
What?
you kind of don't know where you're going, so I'll put that in your court. Who's muted?
Hello. Revi is gonna speak through. How did I mute myself? I think when I was okay. Anyway, Nubs has been just doing laps in front of my keyboard, so he might have stepped on something at some point. But she's going to speak with Zola to just say to the best of your ability, if you smell anything that resembles point us in the right direction. And she is just gonna kind of look out for like, I guess where like shops might be, in the city,
Like where shopping
Wherever they are.
districts would be. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
All right. So I'm gonna have him roll me a survival check.
Okay, I was expecting a disadvantage, but I'll take it at regular.
Go Rolo.
I was gonna say disadvantage, but he's a boule, so ores and metals are things he's absolutely familiar with.
Yeah, he has nothing in survival apparently, so it's just a wisdom check. Here we go, baby. Oh.
Yay!
Okay.
It's
All
okay.
right.
It's okay.
He hesitates for a moment, and tries to like get a bead on a scent, and this is a city full of people and all the interesting smells that comes with, both good and bad. So he's trying to filter
There's
out.
a lot. Yeah.
And he begins to kind of wander, like trying to find like a lead or something.
Yeah.
But he kind of like points in the direction of what would be northwest in the city.
Okay.
Is what he thinks he's getting. But
Alright.
you can also tell it's a bit of a struggle for him. He's sifting out a lot.
Yeah. All right. Let's go this way. And she says through the spores. At any time when she's speaking to Rolam, it's through the spores.
Understood. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you guys with your lovely trek in that direction. Team Agriculture, you are essentially have been left in this very kind of ornate bazaar. There's middle areas that are like raised about a foot where the people kind of stand, and then below them is where like most of their wares are, and there's all kinds of weird fruits, mostly to your maybe disgust, bugs and like lizards and little kind of like it's way more of a carnivorous palate. It doesn't look like agriculture is a huge thing for perhaps obvious reasons, but there's lots of kind of like what is there is usually succulents, kind of things like dragon fruit is essentially what you're seeing. Lots of spikes. Even the plants here have defense mechanisms, and they are still usually present with their current presentation. But there's a lot of rows of that. Some of them go towards more of like the textile situation where they have like woven, which you now recognize as hair, furs in some cases, reeds. Are also being used for certain types of materials, but most kind of biological things that you can get or products that you can create are in this particular market. That is essentially what you're left with.
Keeping up with the alibi. Euphemy's going to make a beeline for like the succulents and fruits and things like that, while still doing the whole like, see, I told you we were going to get some food. Aren't you happy? I bet your tum tum's doing great now.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get that rumble right out of your tum tum, okay?
Is she talking to my ass or who's she talking to?
She's talking to Quinn. She's gonna get
Oh,
rumbles out of your tum tum with some yum yums.
okay, so over the sport, you just hear a stop.
I
Okay.
can't. This is. I'm pretty sure they're spying on us through the spores. She's just like, I'm pretty sure they're watching us. So, I mean, you brought this on yourself, Flower Man. So we just got to play it through. Yeah. It's
All
just
right.
like for future, please don't offer anyone else the flowers from your crown, because if they notice how that thing works, we've got a problem. Do you see anything you would like to kill yourself with while we're here?
No.
Okay, well,
Actually,
if you do-
Leonard.
So rude.
Does he see any obsidian nearby?
oh god,
Perception check, please.
Okay, once I go number 4.
oh no.
Perception. Where is perception? There it is.
Let's go. You got this. No. My
Oh, ow.
Okay, I got a 6.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
Not seeing a lot right now.
Hey, look, puppers. Happy
Doge.
puppers.
All right. So yeah, he's gonna go look at he's gonna play along with Euphemi here. He's gonna go up to the food here and see what's going on.
Euphemi, while they're at the food, is actually going to be really observing these alien plants to make sure that like we're not poisoning ourselves, or like if we pick something up, we're not just gonna get stuck with like a million needles or something.
Okay. Give me a nature check. And while you approach, there's again one of those kind of praying mantis, just kind of things with the 4 arms, kind of going through, like using all 4 arms to kind of carefully place the products there. But as you come up, it kind of picks its heads up, and in this weird kind of creaking voice, you hear greetings.
I would like to rescind my decision to go up to this for.
Oh my god. I will also mention, Nenners, you still have your cheese background, but if you want to DM with cheese, I'm down for it.
Cheese is
I'm
what's
letting you
gonna
know.
probably
I love
happen
it.
tonight. So I'm
I
keeping
love it.
cheese.
It's great.
I do not know why I rolled with advantage. However, please excuse my error. It was terrible either way.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. This is, you use the word alien, and it is absolutely appropriate in this particular sense. You've been through the Fae, you've seen some crazy looking plants, but for the most part, you don't recognize any of these. Some kind of have passing resemblances to like aloe plants and things, but the colors are wrong. There's some have like almost like a chitinous kind of coating on them. Some you swear are still moving, but yeah, it is absolutely a completely new experience to you, and you realize that it would take some time, maybe some prodding, to kind of figure out. You could probably, with some time, handle them safely, but to kind of get an idea of how dangerous they are, it's tough to say.
Yeah. All right. With that in mind, and their new guests, and try not to visibly cringe, just be like, "Hello there." So we're kind of going on a bit of a world tour, you could say, just traveling around, trading what little we have, and then seeing what's around, and see a lot of interesting succulents here. What would you recommend for somebody who isn't exactly well versed in, the flora out here in particular, near New Wistonell? And it's just kind of just like looking towards Quinn, who I hope is continuing to play up being a silly face.
Yes, very much so. Like when the guy says hello, he's like, hi.
Oh God.
I want food.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been a long trip. We've been in the sun a lot, and you know how that goes.
The creature goes to like grabs what looks almost like a small coconut in a way, but kind of like an oblong kind of shape, but picks it up and kind of gently cracks it and hands it out. Boilless nuts.
Did you say boil this nut?
Boreless.
Oh. Okay. Boilless nut. Does that sound familiar for anything they've read?
No.
God damn it. Why did you abandon us, Violet?
No.
Borley's nuts? What? Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
No.
I was so close, man. I was so close. Okay.
You were close. You were real close. Yeah. But yeah, the creature offers it to you, and it kind of has like a coconut-y shell, but the middle looks like a kiwi, but without the seeds.
Okay.
And she's just like, how do you feel about this one? Actually, how does she feel about this one? Looking at
You get like a faint combination of like citrus and aloe in the air from the fragrance.
It's like, smells good. What do you think?
Hey, he's gonna try. He's just gonna reach out and try it.
Oh boy, she's just in her mind like, yep, there it is. That, yep, all right.
As
Is he
soon
gonna
as you
smush it into
go,
his
she
mask?
immediately puts her arms back, and is like, and with your other two arms is kind of doing like a pay first.
Oh right, I'm so sorry. We have money for Athos, right? Or I forget what we're gonna use to trade here. We have the stuff, right?
Yeah.
Remember, we had a lengthy discussion about bringing the tradery stuff that we were gonna trade with.
We do. That was just great to listen to. We brought a little bit of silver with us, but that's definitely not an opportunity to use it. I do believe we did get some ceramics. For some, I don't know how many we have, but we do have some.
I mean, we also have the regenerating flowers.
Poor Maya's
All
gonna
right.
lose her mind.
Since I don't know if you guys evenly distributed whatever ceramics you had, roll me 2d12, and that's how much you're gonna have on you.
Yes, sir. But remember, it's my birthday, so you have to be nice.
Oh, I will say, I know Revive. Oh
See, this is why
my god, are you serious?
Is that just for her, or do I do it as well?
Can she roll one more because it's her birthday?
I'm gonna have Kit roll because it's his birthday.
Because they're
Okay, there you go,
because
there
it's
you
their
go.
birthday.
It's their birthday.
Okay.
It's their
Out of the
birthdays.
cards. That's a little better.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Okay,
Little bit,
so
little bit.
grand total of 15 copper pieces. You guys are ballers. Not really, but the looking at you and seeing that you're like a foreigner and maybe don't know how trade is supposed to go, it holds out 5 digits.
Oh,
That's 6.
3 can have 4 fingers, so bear with me.
You're still holding up 6 thumbs.
He's
What do you want to do with my thumb, man? Like, I can't
Get
cut
out
it
of
off.
here.
I mean, I can, but I'm not doing it for this.
Don't give him shot.
we also
Go
have
ahead.
the other card.
Okay. Okay. Quinn's gonna see the fingers. He's gonna go. No, too much. How about? And he puts up 3 fingers.
And oh no.
Oh, he bargaining.
It's interesting because you wouldn't think like insects are very expressive,
Uh-huh.
but you do see like a shift in the eyes and like almost like a flash across the multifaceted lenses there,
Mhm.
and like a slight twitch in the mandible. Roll me persuasion.
All right. I think I have good persuasion. I do. Okay. Okay.
I hope
this
so,
is
you paladin.
some normal.
Paladin like. Look, he doesn't have to be good at. Oh no.
16. That was a bad roll. Okay.
That's not. I mean, again,
No worries.
you're not like in the master bar. You're not in like the Barrett Jackson of freaking of nut trading here, so you're fine. She looks at you and then subtracts one of the numbers off and just gives you 4.
It's gonna start nodding like crazy. Like, yes, okay.
So she begins like in an interesting experience. With one set of arms, she offers the fruit, and then the other she has her hand out for the payment.
Euphemy's just gonna put her 4 into that hand.
Okay. She grabs it and then kind of, I don't know who's getting the second one, but she's trying to deposit that. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for being patient with us. It's obvious we're new here. Still puzzling everything out. Do you know where we can exchange to get more? It was a copper? No, ceramic. There we go.
Head tilts. Exchange. You can tell for this creature, speaking verbally is a struggle.
So this creature's a mantis, you said?
It's a 3 green. Let me throw.
Throw it on the map, man.
Yeah.
We're eating, so you're gonna hear random chewing every so often.
You're good.
I'm pretty sure that's not it. Thank you, Flandy. You're great.
Where's it being put? There he is. Okay.
Okay, so it is not related to a spider. Okay.
Oh, god damn it. Dubs has said this all the time. Do you want to say that one more time? 3
Oh,
Koreans.
no!
The first time
Oh my god, man. What the
the first time I was like, I had a character when I was little, and she was a 3 Korean, and she was like, she was 3 Koreans. I was like, no.
Is it like that character who's like 3 dwarves stacked on top of each other?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god, with the kobolds in a coat. But yeah, so that's essentially what you're seeing there.
Wait,
okay, so it's not related to a spider. Okay.
Not by any means related to a spider.
Okay.
Wait, you were looking for spider shit?
I mean, this is one of the reasons why he feels so comfortable with the mantis. It reminds him of a spider.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But yeah,
shot, bruh.
It's still kind of looking at you quizzically because you asked it a question it didn't fully understand.
It's okay. We'll just keep looking around. Thank you.
It kind of nods and goes back to kind of meticulously organizing its goods with all 4 arms.
Okay.
But yeah, you're more than welcome to try the fruit or the nut.
Yeah, he's looking it down, and over the sports you sent me, you hear, not the best deal I could have gotten for it, but at least we got a little bit of a discount.
We don't know what the deals here really are. But still, I never knew you to be a hackler. I'm surprised. Very impressive.
They send me out for food quite commonly. I try to save my lord's money.
So many questions, so little time. It's just like... All right, so first alibi served. We found some food. We did a little bit of trade. And now...
Came all the way for 2 nuts.
I hate you. Get out.
You had to bring up the
yeah, so now it's time to kind of like leisurely walk around in the market, see what's available, but more importantly, keep it. Ooh,
whatever that is.
Was that a kid? Who was that?
All right, sorry for the
I'm so sorry, Foos. I saw you chewing and I was like, God damn it.
I saw you say Foos and I was like, are you for real right now?
You were
How dare you? That sounded like chewing to you? The fuck? Anyway,
Well, it sounded like chewing. Maybe something you got out of a bag. I didn't know this kid was doing the thing. Kit, you monster. Yeah.
Also, happy fucking birthday.
What?
happy fucking birthday.
Yeah. Euphemy's gonna try to do a little tour around the marketplace, kind of leisurely, but at the same time showing a rapt interest in any wares that could be useful potentially. It's just like, looking around before you start deciding on what you're gonna buy. Like, like some people walk around the whole supermarket and like kind of do the budget in their head of what they're going to buy and then go buy it. Some people do that. That's very weird. But
I get the concept, but I've never done that.
yeah, I don't do it either. But some people do that. It's very.
When I
cool.
step in there, I have a plan.
Yeah,
She's clipping coupons.
when I go, I know exactly what I'm getting. But
Yep.
Coupons.
so she's doing a little bit of that in combination with keeping her ears peeled for like the sound of like sounds you might hear coming from a smithy, or just sense of a smithy, or like people walking around with weapons that seem newly crafted or repaired.
Okay, so you're
I know
trying to
that was a
do
lot.
a
I apologize.
whole lot of things.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say, give me an investigation for the weapons, because these aren't like smithy is really a term not appropriate for this area. Even as you guys have been walking, maybe casually seeing a weapon, you've not seen one that has been metal at all.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what are the use of an anvil?
There's stone, bone, obsidian, other biological elements like a
Right.
limb of a big bug, or the hip, like a femur of some other creature. So you're not going to hear somebody smithing per se.
Could she roll nature? Because investigation is hard. She's looking for boom, 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 boom.
See, the issue is, like, for you to know what a newly created weapon out of something that could have been dead for a long, like, it's a very specific set of knowledge.
I was joking. I knew you weren't going to give me that.
Yeah.
But I thought I would try because her investigation is a whole 1. So there we go. Yep, that's. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a flat 10.
It's
She
first and
tries.
foremost, I will say that you do deduce that if there is a blacksmith or kind of industrial section, the zoning laws in the city are pretty good, and they're not in the food section. So you get the feeling this is specifically for consumable items, things of that nature, and there wouldn't be any kind of weaponry or anything like that creation near this.
Great. Second part. That whole touring shopping thing. Let's just pretend to get lost and wander into a place where they might find weapons.
Okay. So let me put it to you this way, as somebody who lives in a big city.
Hey, remember how much I love you?
Damn.
Yeah.
You sound like you were about to say
Also,
a thing
Maya-
that was nice.
Mine's in a big city too.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. As someone who lives in a big city,
Oh,
Maya,
cool.
specifically.
Can I get a big city bonus?
Imagine trying to wander for like a legendary record store. That's essentially what you're doing on like the south side of Chicago. Like, how long would it take you? You know what I mean? The scope of the city is enormous. Can you do it? Absolutely. At this point, I'll have you roll to see how many hours it takes you to get where you need to go. That's
Hey,
how
Siri,
big we're talking.
Navigate to blacksmith.
You could, of course, be a tourist and ask, or you could try to find it yourself. Up to you.
Yeah, can I roll some shit here or no?
Of course. What
All
are you doing?
So he would be looking for any place that looks like it, like is selling like flowers or just fruit, and he's gonna try and hawk one of the flowers here, see if we can get anything for it.
No.
Okay. You come up to
about the flowers.
No. So first, I'm gonna see if there's anything around. Do I see anything?
there is a booth with what looks like a very heavily tanned, very muscular, bald man with kind of slightly pointed ears, standing probably like 6'10". It's a big dude. Got like an apron on,
Okay.
and one that actually fits, as opposed to your bugbear friend. But he is currently there's a little bit of like a dichotomy here with someone who's clearly like he has scars. There's like elements of old tattoos, hands that don't look like they're made for agriculture in any way. But he has like a lovely stand with like a lot of flowers and kind of again succulents. They're not the typical flowers, right? They don't have these little whimsy stems. They're all quite like chonkers. But in addition to that, there are two dwarf, what look like guards there as well. And there's also elements of like kind of like beverages in the back, like kind of on walls, or on the wall that goes around the back entryway there, and just these kind of crude glass shapes with liquids in them. And he's just trying to organize and look around a little bit, and kind of notes you approaching. And most shopkeepers would welcome people, but you can tell that there's like a flash where he's just sizing you up.
Yeah, he wouldn't approach you. So what he wants to do is I want to do with him is I want to like slide a flower out of his crown, like mask it like he's like wiping away something or something, and then just like keep it in his hand.
Okay. Roll me sleight of hand.
It's already there.
He did.
He did already. Look at that.
He was serious about this.
He was serious.
Yo, he sleight-handed the sleight of hand.
You are able to remove a flower from your crown quite smoothly. I don't know what you're doing with it in regards to him, but you now have it in your hand.
At this point, he would approach him, and he's gonna try and like hawk this thing, see what he can get for it.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of a deep, gravelly voice that I do not have. Afternoon.
Hi.
Oh,
Do you buy flowers?
Not usually. I'm in the business of selling. Unless you're a supplier, then we can talk.
I have one with me right now. My friends, they have the rest.
One barrel?
No,
Flowers?
just one. See if you want to buy it.
One flower.
One.
Oh.
he's Do I even need to explain it? It's literally she said. You heard him. I don't think I need to explain this one. We had a lot of encounters on the way here. A lot of blows to the head. A lot of harsh sun. Sometimes it stirs. Discombobulate.
There's kind of like a moment where he like closes his eyes and just kind of centers himself. Like he's trying to quell something, and then opens them again. How much would you want for the flower?
I don't know. You tell me how much it's worth.
Oh,
And he's gonna show him the flower.
I don't know.
I've never seen this before. Does it taste good? Is it spice?
My lords grow them in their garden.
Oh no.
Your lords.
Yes.
Bro, what are you doing? Over the spores. No.
You can tell at this point the guards have like gone from who is this idiot to heads just snap to you. And eyes are going up and down looking for any kind of symbol, elements of something that would denote who you serve, essentially.
Yep. There it is.
But
I think I just fucked up. Okay.
kind of patiently, look, you seem to be out of sorts and perhaps out of your depth. So this one's for free. There's only one lord here, and that is Dragoth.
Mm-hmm.
If you like your head where it is, you'll remember that fact. And before he kind of whispered in to say this, he did look around to see if anybody was looking in on this conversation. And then kind of leans back. Sir, I mean, do you need money? You could work.
Do you really want him working?
He looks strong.
He has that. He's got that.
We have some rocks that need to be moved.
Would you like to move some rocks?
I could try.
Euphemia's just like, this is my life now.
And you just hear over the sports. I'm trying to build rapport here. Just come on.
This is not me. But now that you're on this path, please continue. Let's see where this goes.
Are you gonna work in that mask? It gets hot out there.
What's under there?
My face is it's not good.
I see.
Not something you want the customers to see.
Look, I'll pay you for good hours worth of work. I'll pay you 5 ceramic pieces if you move some rocks.
Yeah, that makes up for the fruit you just bought.
But it's not going to be here. It's going to be out there, just so you know.
You mean beyond the gates, or?
It's within the city limits, just above.
Okay. Again, yeah, what he's trying to build here is just he's trying to make somebody he can come back to and ask questions to.
Yeah, I don't think he's that guy.
Okay.
Hey, Euphemie's like, I didn't want us to split up, and now we're splitting up twice.
Okay, well, I'm going to take your silence as you being mildly interested.
I can do it.
Okay. Favna, take the young man up, show him where the counterbalance is for their weights, and have him move it to the second position. And
I'm sorry, but how long do you think you'll be keeping him?
as long as he wants to work. It's 5 ceramic an hour. It's a full day's job. If he wants to be up for 8, I can pay him for 8.
I see. Thank you. Very kindly. I guess I'll just pop back in to grab him later. We try to stick together. You know, we're new here. So. And you've already seen what's not going on up there.
Sure.
Needs.
Got it. Yeah. And he points to one of his guards, Jack Dwarf, and like all the dwarves here, no facial hair whatsoever, and this one is also bald. There is tattoos on their head, and from what you can tell, she is female. The other is male, and armed with what looks like kind of a bone club. Kind of has a some kind of chitinous shield and elements of kind of chitin armor on her. But kind of grunts your way like, let's go kind of situation.
Okay. All right.
And is going to begin to kind of take you a way that you hadn't come in through. So you guys came into the diplomatic entrance. It looks like she's going to like a more of a trade entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And just based on like where the door is and where you are, you also have to climb some stairs to get out. So it's like it's going to be probably 20-minute to half-hour trip, because she's dwarf, to leave. Just so you know.
Okay, no problemo.
Okay.
She's gonna watch him walking towards that exit and just be like, on second thought, I don't know, maybe I can find somebody to be useful too.
Do you like to move rocks too?
No. Anything else I can help with?
Not particularly. I was mostly prepared today. That's just for the scales.
I see.
I buy in bulk.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. You know what? I'll trouble you no more. I'll just come back in an hour. If he's ready to leave, then I guess we take off. Thank
Understood.
you for being patient with him.
Mind your friend's tongue. And he just kind of looks away at that and starts mixing some of the liquids and kind of seeing if you can. It looks like he's experimenting at the moment, but kind of leaves you alone with that.
She is going to realize that she should probably leave now because this place is semi-hostile and does not want to draw any more aggro. Jesus Christ. Is there anyone else with us? Who's Katasu is?
Katasu's with
He's
you guys.
with you guys. Yeah.
She's gonna lean in and be like, once they're outside of that place, Katasu, what do you think about this situation?
Hold on, let me get his mic in place. He's eating. Hold on. Quinn's going to go work for a flower man.
He's going to go do manual labor in 130-degree sun.
Yeah,
He's used to that shit. It's okay.
ceramic pieces. I love. We're here for a job, and you guys are like, just gonna wander around. But
Yeah,
yeah,
like we're here for a job.
yeah.
Why are we?
I can't.
The idea of
You're
moving rocks. What?
I heard
The consensus is he's very confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Especially just like what the. Like,
he went to the store. He tried to sell the very large tan man flowers, and made several missteps with his language, referring to multiple lords in a place that only has one lord, Dreyoff, and is trying to butter them up, but instead is now doing prison work, lifting rocks, I guess, to make I guess some more ceramic for us. So that part's nice, but the rest of it is terrible.
Intelligence. The flat.
No, I think so. That's regular too. Like, oh no, you have that crown that put it up.
Yeah.
You're real smart.
My wisdom. I'm pretty wise too. Yeah, no, we need to stay on fucking mission, man. No. Just no to all of this.
I'm with you. I've never felt so old as I have in this moment. So he's going to be preoccupied.
Dangerous. We need to move. Very dangerous. We need to move.
Well, that's true. We can't just pull him out of the job that he volunteered for, though. I think that would make things even more rough for us. So, is there anything you'd like to do for the hour that we have to kill?
It's at least 2. It's 20 minutes to get there. Probably whatever he wants to get him set up and explain the job. Do it if he only wanted to do it for an hour, and then come back down.
Complication.
Let's go to find rest of team.
Huh?
No, just go find rest of group team.
Oh, yeah. I guess we should do that. In that case, Euphemi's is gonna be like, all right. I guess we'll just ask around for the temple. I'm pretty sure it's not visible from here, Nenners.
Is this temple public knowledge?
Decent. Is it? It's decently public
It's
knowledge. It's not
pretty
like
big,
hidden.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like St. Patty's Cathedral.
surprising.
Like
Hmm.
people would be able to point you in the right direction. But from where you guys are, you can give me a perception check, but it's going to be a high DC.
Yes, sir.
Casual's got keen mind if it's something with like location based.
I can't roll it today. It's up to you,
Yeah.
Make
Katafu.
it mine. Oh, all right. It's 1 perception check for you.
I believe in you.
Don't you get advantage because of
I
some
don't know, man.
banana?
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
matter.
what I
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Euphemi's kind of doing the
The lady.
yeah, but Katasu with those keen bird eyes is able to kind of see the difference in light from the firelight and pick out the stones I kind of mentioned earlier as to what the several elements that look like they are raw and would be denote the presence of a temple. So Katasu, you do know where they are. They are in kind of almost like directly west from where you guys are. If you from your mental map, if you look at it, you came in from the south side of the city, went north a bit, and then more towards the east. And this one's almost directly west from where you guys are total.
So sweet.
Yep.
Real nice.
Okay, so we're just gonna peep up. Let's just walk this way, towards this way. Towards
I think
this
this is
way.
the most conversation I've had with you. It feels good.
I let Blade talk.
No. No, I think it's great because it seems like a lot of what's being said is making things worse. So
Everyone. I don't know what she said. We were just
Sorry,
dying.
can you say that again, Maya? We were too busy laughing. I'm sorry.
She's just like, yeah, that's great because I feel like a lot of words said by this group get us into very terrible situations. So
Okay. Would Quinn know where the temple is or no?
Yes, you would, because we just said that way.
Okay. Okay. So then in response, he would say, "I'll meet you guys there in a few hours."
oh,
You die here.
Okay.
Damn.
2 hours.
He's gonna talk to him like a parent. Okay, now you make sure you don't offer anyone any flowers, okay? And you make
Why
sure that
did you-
you don't mention any more lords, all right? Now I want you to make sure that you're wearing fresh underwear when you go out there to lift rocks for the prison wardens, okay? You make
Why
sure
are you
take
suddenly
care
from
of
Minnesota?
Don't
now
you
you
know?
don't send up here, fools. You don't talk to me like that, all right?
All right. All right.
Yeah, don't you know?
Exactly. Don't you know?
Oh my
So
god.
you'll take care of yourself, Quinn. Okay. If you can't make it back to us, we're gonna find you. All right.
Okay.
That's good. I'm glad. Don't you know?
Oh.
Snuck in a little don't you know.
This is terrible. I know.
That was amazing.
All right. So I'm going to leave you guys on your trip to the temple with Quinn on his trip to do hard labor. So
Oh, you sound so disappointed. I'm sorry.
we're going to switch over to team. We're going to the blacksmith. All right. So, and you were following Zelman in a northwestern pattern.
Yeah.
Give me another survival check for Zolan to see how he's holding on to the scent.
Okay. It's one better than before.
A little bit better.
Okay.
Just one
All right.
better.
That can only mean we're getting closer.
Exactly. One better.
As far
still
as you can
better.
tell, he seems pretty confident where he's going. But you are now kind of leaving the more of like the, I don't want to say residential, but it was more of like the public district. There's what would be a park in an underground place. There's obviously elements of worship. There was what looked like a library, very kind of strange edifice. But as you are continuing to walk towards what is now more of the commercial district, you're seeing more elements of like furniture and like trade goods, raw materials in some cases. This is very, very business focused for the most part, as you are now walking towards that particular thing. Was there anything you guys wanted to take a look at, or do you?
Not on the way. Ravaya is very focused on like get the shit.
Actually,
get the fuck out.
actually, notice.
Yes.
While they're walking towards the temple, Euphemie's actually going to be kind of like every now and then just sending out a probing like spore thought just to see if she's back in range of her friends while getting close to the temple. Just be like, hello. No.
Okay.
Hello? No? Okay.
All right. Noted.
I imagine that if she was with Ravaya doing it for the other, like if it was Euphemia and Ravaya together, and she was doing like a whole the other group, Ravaya would be like, "Shut up!"
Actually, Euphemie, roll me a D100.
I'm scared.
Oh no!
Can I get a bonus because I'm scared?
Do we see any maggots in the city?
Get a fear bonus on my roll?
Get a fear bonus.
All right. So considering my track record today, Nana, just remember what you feel like when you can't roll.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, your voice breaking. Just remember how you feel. Oh shit!
Okay. All right. Not bad.
Let's go.
Wait, is this one of those rolls where you roll high is bad?
This is the percentage of your ass beat that's gonna happen right now.
This is the percentage of stuff lost from the first shot.
No, I would have told you if it was inverse. This is the higher the better, so you're good.
Yay.
Do we see any myconids around here, Dennis?
Do you see any myconids? Roll me perception.
Oh, very nice.
That is nice. Not a single myconid to be found, as far as you can tell. There's all kinds of weird creatures and things that you've never seen before, but certainly no myconids.
That's pretty hard because you know when's the last time Myconid flew.
Yeah, I know, right?
What was that? 12? Holy shit.
I guess Rollup's just trying to keep an eye out for things that might be clues to, like, yeah, you get close to like an industrial district, or hey, this is somebody that you might ask and they won't go around and tell the popo. Like,
Okay. So you're looking for people who are perhaps not friends with law enforcement.
oh boy,
Looking for shady people.
Give me a survival check, because this is definitely I'll be nice. It's a flat roll,
None of those
but
sound
it
good.
probably shouldn't be, given your background. Okay. What would be what's interesting is obviously it's a underground city, so there's a lot of the goods are coming down through these giant, I don't want to call them pallets, but they're giant platforms that are being lowered down by what looks like kind of rope and chains that are being very, very slowly lowered to the ground. And there's obviously all kinds of goods, and there's people on those things, and it looks like guards and merchants and stuff. But mostly bulk goods are being moved up and in and out of the city. Some of those workers are always on the lookout. They're looking around, and not just in case one snaps and is going to kill them, but just kind of more alert than normal. And when they're not working, they're sticking to the shadows. There's an element of, I want to see but not be seen to some of these creatures, essentially. They're humanoid, just so you know. But you are seeing people who are actively trying not to be detected overtly.
he's gonna keep that in mind for now, and he's just like, man, I wish I could cast sending to this lady, but that would be bad for numerous reasons. It would make things a lot easier.
Hello? I'm kidding.
I was just gonna let it. I was gonna let an awkward silence ride. It was great.
She said it like that too. Hello? Oh god.
We used to do that at work. Hello.
Oh no.
But yeah. So we at least left the residential district.
Yeah. Or it seems like we're getting closer, most likely.
I don't know how to do this without magic. I'm sure you do that, but
I have a feeling I have a different definition of the use of this in that sentence, so you're going to have to clarify. What are you struggling with right now? Because right now we're just walking.
can't walk without magic. No.
In Ravaya's brain, she was like, "You can't do shit without magic. What are you talking about?"
Could you be
Elaborate.
more specific?
Yeah. Imagine Rolos with sparkly feet. Just because they can't walk without magic. There's just sparkly feet down the street.
He's gonna respond. He's I could just cast sending and find this apprentice hopefully quickly, but it's too risky here.
Yeah. Well, sometimes a more tactile level of training is more helpful. And thankfully, that is where Zone and I excel. Unfortunately, not so much in a city, but we're doing our best, and I think we're going in the right direction.
Have you noticed the shady ones?
I have not been
Constantly
paying
on
attention to anything other than our trail.
I feel like Rome's like, I want to tell you that that's a bad idea, but I'm afraid you might slash me with your sword.
She'll continue though. The way I see it, there is zero chance that we are going to not be seen by whoever wants to see us. So unless we decide to run along the rooftops or somehow turn ourselves invisible, something or someone is going to find us interesting. We'll deal with it as it comes about.
I don't know if you can hear facial expressions through spores, but indivisible, you say?
Rolam's eyebrows went through his hairline.
Just for the spores, though, not in real life.
I mean,
Roll will just kind of be like, I guess I'll take some notes, and he's gonna try and like end it with a soft chuckle.
yeah, she's just focused on the trail. Like I think, if anything, like hostile, looks in her direction, kind of thing. I think she'll get a beat on that. But if they're otherwise just kind of like being shady, she's not going to give a shit right now.
Okay. I will say, you are obviously getting some looks, but I will say as Zolan is going, Zolan doesn't necessarily understand social or like
for sure,
like city etiquette in terms of like, hey, don't walk through this guy's like backyard or supply line or whatever. So I'm gonna have you roll a survival check and see if you can guide him away from like, because he's going the direct route, right? He's a hunter. He's like, I'm gonna get you to where we need to go. But he's cutting corners. He's taking, and he's getting a fairly wide berth given what he is, but. You're now in a more industrial area with bigger guards and like more money at stake, so it could be an issue if not handled properly.
I'm also just imagining he has the like Komodo dragon trot, where it's like the big heavy limbs are just like, we're going this way, guys. He's just like mowing in between like carts and lawns. Sorry about that. Oh shit.
Okay, all right. So there was a point where like one of these, what looks like a granite kind of some kind of sales place where they have like these large slabs of stone and things of that nature, and it's got a small fence, and it looked like he was just gonna go like kind of right through it, and you're like, no, and he said for a moment he was like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, okay. It's you guide him around it, and there was really hard to miss, but what they consider a half giant guard there, who you kind of got the attention of, where he's just. And then once he realizes there's no infraction, continues to mull over whatever he was thinking about prior. But I'll say you guys are going at a really good pace. I'm going to have one more survival check from Zolan just to see if he can finish the.
I'm scared. I was rolling pretty good. And, oh shit! We only went up, baby.
And
we're getting closer.
Now that you've gone through this like kind of very commercial district, you come out where there's more like skills, like woodworkers, things like that, and maybe not woodworkers, but something similar to where you'd whittle whatever organic compounds they have. There is wood here, but it's very rare. But you see what looks like furniture made out of like mycelium, like some kind of hardened mushrooms or fungus, just really good like reed work in terms of like long strands of grass and things of that nature, and a lot of like furniture is big bugs. Like there's chairs that have been like hollowed out, like just huge sections of chitin that have been kind of bent and molded with leather and kind of made to create these very interesting elements of just furniture and industry. But you come down the street and there are several shops like lining it. And this is kind of like the craftsman district, if you will.
Also, sorry to interrupt you. Just as she's looking around at some of like the buggy stuff, does any of them resemble, for example, the giant centipede thing that she ripped an antenna off and has the bits
the megapede? Yes,
the megapede, big old megapede.
Yep. Give me a perception check at advantage because this is definitely within your wheelhouse.
Does she find the giant megapede that it belongs to?
Yeah.
Maybe the cousin or the great grandkid.
He's in the shopping district with all of his arms on his hips,
Yeah.
taking a look at some stuff.
There's a what you're seeing is what looks like kind of a long couch, if you will. It's really huge. You were thinking this would have to be for like a noble's house or something like that, but it wraps all the way around, and it looks like it's probably like 4 or 5 sections of what was clearly a smaller megapede, but was definitely that. And it is kind of like a furniture store, is what you're seeing that from, with a whole host of other different products. But that does catch your eye. Like, I've seen that pattern before. The megapede is clearly smaller, but it is the same species.
All right, well, okay. It's good to know that they are using their harvested pieces, is what she's thinking to herself. But yeah, sorry, not just to interrupt you, but carry on.
Okay. This is where Zolan kind of stops, because he doesn't know who he's looking for. This is just the smells that he was going off of. So you would have to kind of find this person for yourselves. But you would hope is it the right street or streets? It looks like the right area.
Okay. All right, keep your eyes peeled. Zolan just knows it's coming from this area, but nothing specific.
And you smell a lot of like tanning oils, lacquer, things like that in the air. Definitely.
Can we hear perhaps the sound of crafting in the distance? Any noisy
you hear it's all over the place. There's, again, not gonna find a lot of anvils here because it's worth more than like entire family lines. But the
entire family line.
But you do hear like a lot of like light hammering, because there's a lot of chiseling and molding and things like that going on. If you want to give me a sorry.
You said the retired guy, the master or whatever, was like, what was his race again?
A dwarf?
Was it a dwarf?
I think it was. That's according. Let me get my notes out again, but I'm pretty sure it's dwarf.
Yeah. You are correct. It is a dwarf.
Okay,
I'm not gonna waste
dwarf.
your time.
Who said wow?
It's dwarf.
Roland's just gonna do his best to kind of look out for any inklings of dwarven, maybe not architecture, but like signage, like something that might like be like,
okay,
huh, dwarf.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, give me either investigation or perception, your choice, because you could try to like spot it. I will say perception's higher because there's so much to take in. But if you're just like, if you're Home Depoting it, trying to find your aisle, then I'll give you investigation.
Well, he's not gonna be so overt about it. But
yeah, it's just. I mean, it's not
like you stop and stare.
No, Home Depot's more than like, "Hey, can I help you find it?" Fuck you.
I will say this is a trade district, so looking for something specific isn't abnormal. Like, people come here to trade; they are looking for things like that. That's fine.
Boop. That was a 6. Oh boy.
Okay. Obviously not the greatest in the world, but you do see like a little section with what looks like dwarvish, but not like, how do I explain this?
It's a different dialect.
The style is just very strange. I don't know if you've ever seen like Ye Olde English and some of their weird vowels and things of that nature, but imagine that, but with terrible writing tools, right? Comparatively speaking, because dwarves are very much chisel, that kind of thing. But you do see a couple of signs, looks like 3 stores in a row that kind of have either dwarvish emblems or lettering and things of that nature on there. Everything seems to be in the common tongue of this place, but there's like little kind of stylized dwarvish lettering. Probably, I'd say about 30 yards down the street on your left.
Roland will just through the spores and be like, maybe that's a good start, and like in above table, I guess he's just gonna kind of tap her via shoulder and point in that general direction.
Sure, it's a good start. She'll walk on by to see if she could just look in the window or the doors. There's probably no windies because I don't know how they do. And she's just looking. She's walking by and looking.
There's probably no windies.
There's probably
Definitely
no
no
windies.
Windex.
Windex. Yep, definitely.
They're
no
gonna be dirty
Windex.
Wendy's.
Dirty Wendy's.
Look at them dirty
Um,
Wendy's then. And Flandy's doing it in his orange safety cone row.
Hello, I'm here to purchase weapons for not illegal activities. Preferably the rarest metals you have.
Oh my god. Your arms just flying into the air when he said that. Okay, sorry. Yes, no.
there is so you are able to kind of walk up and the first store you see looks like it sells toys, kind of very small toys carved out of, again, some kind of weird organic thing, almost like pumice, but clearly had some kind of organic structure to it. But you see some like interesting bugs, some like the legs actually move. There's like what looks like a half giant, almost superhero figure. There's what looks like the sand rays that you saw before, also made out of that, and just kind of like a toy shop. After that, you see another shop with no sign on it other than what looks like 2 crossed swords there, and the sign looks ancient, like well worn. This is actually made of wood, so that's something that also kind of strikes out to you. But there is a half elf in the back, currently trying to like line up what looks like obsidian into like a bone like hilt as you are
Roll's
passing
gonna
it.
sport a revive like this feels way too easy.
We still have to get out of this place and leave this entire fucking realm. So we have plenty of times for things to go wrong. In the meantime, be on your best behavior. I'm not going to do much talking in here.
Oh, shit. you can tell he meant to like close off the connection, but it made sense.
I think with that, she's going to do like a almost mockingly kind of like flourish of like, after you.
I feel like he's gonna chuckle a little bit. Should we go in strong with the? I figured out.
Stare is exactly what you got from her. I'm gonna say, like in general, Revia is not really making eye contact with Roland very much. Like even through talking with the spores and walking around, like she's been either focused on her trail or whatever. And even now, when she like playfully flourished, is still like not looking at him, is looking at the door.
All right. So you walk up, and as you both kind of approach, you see him like walk, and then he just kind of stops and it's like he heard something, and kind of looks at you both quizzically, and there's a little bit of an awkward stare beginning to start.
Roland's gonna kind of like give it a couple seconds just to kind of like let it flesh out. Let him like, one of those like, if we don't speak so fast, maybe he won't be scared away. But at the same time, like he's just trying to read. Like, is he gonna like throw something at us? Is it cool? Is he gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just not getting too deep, obviously, but just kind of like get that initial like, first impressions. And then he'll kind of come in and be like, hello.
Oh, sorry, again.
We're looking for something, and I hope I'm in the right place.
Depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for weapons and armor and things of that nature, I could probably, assuming you have the coin, help with what you need.
He'll look over to Revive and like, we did find it. We were told that the best that... Actually, no, hold on. He'll be like, would you consider yourself the best in town? In the city?
You hear further in the back of the shop, no, but he trained with the best. And you see a probably 4'1" dwarf, who's also 4'1" with wise, female who comes out and has this like her head is shaved up to just a top knot that comes out and just goes almost all the way down to the floor. Is how long it is, and she has these kind of elaborate tattoos of what looks like sun rays that kind of like both arc into the back like where her head would be, so like the rays are kind of coming down on there, and kind of rolls her neck out. When she does, you hear like 3 or 4 solid cracks as that happens. It just kind of rolls out and just looks like somebody who's been working with their hands in a very physical environment for hundreds of years. But
I don't want to assume,
but
this fits the description that we were given.
Yeah, that dwarf training half elf. It's starting to line up a little bit.
Rolov's gonna to revive, but like, remind me to spend like 20 plat on Zolan at Mestic and Delights when we visit there next.
It's just a soft sigh that goes back through it.
She continues. He learned a lot. He has some technique issues to work out, specifically with obsidian, but he's getting better. But his gift, that is what sets him apart.
You must be insert name here.
Oh no.
Rylan. Rylan.
Roland is my name.
I'm gonna put the accent on the second E so I remember.
Yes, is I. I see you are interrupting my pupil's work. Were you looking for a sale?
Indeed. We intend he's trying to like he's formulating them a little bit quicker than Flandy is, I would imagine. But
as you two are doing that, you see him like the half elf shoots his mentor a look. And it seems to be more than a look in terms of what's happening. And she then looks back at you guys. It seems that you have some interesting items on you.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Perhaps we should take this inside?
Does this seem like genuine? This is probably going to be a severe disadvantage for Roland, but we'll see. Does this seem like a come back here, let me murder you and take all your items? Does it seem like a come back, let me turn you into the cops because you're going to make us lots of money? Or does it seem like a yo, you don't belong here, but you cool, let's go talk. You cool.
Also, I wanted to mention, Revia would be like fucking almost Katasu, just like fucking watching. She's attempting to see if they're looking at specific things on them. That's essentially what Revia is keeping an eye out for.
Eric is looking almost dead at you.
At like my face or like my armor, or my
more towards your weapons specifically.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. That's what she was looking at for. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll me an insight check for your. Are they going to kill me or not?
I think it's more of a how they're gonna kill me. He said insight. Ooh.
Yes, please.
Sick of sights.
Oh! It paused up
God.
5.
Desna is doing so much heavy lifting for you guys tonight.
That was a strong 15. Get out of here.
This is a person you've never met before. She's hard as fucking nails.
Yeah, I mean, but like, is she gonna roll a contested whatever, or was there just like a DC?
No, you could.
You're good. You're good.
You could tell there's an element of like, clearly we don't have all the cards on the table, and I like to get to that point. That's where she's coming from. Also, in regards to like them, I mean, she has like a hammer. He's clearly a crap. Like neither like she could probably whoop some ass. He not so much.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like it's a scenario where you're walking into an ambush.
I feel like Rolob, even despite knowing the situation, like he's instinctively gonna think magic items. He's like, fuck. They know about our magic items. Oh my god, fuck. Like that's kind of where his mind is initially. He's like, but he'll kind of like nod and just over the sports really quickly. Good idea.
We're probably better off having that conversation not in public anyway.
after. Do we follow? Yes.
Very well. And you see she kind of goes like she meant like gestures to follow her, and she kind of there's a back wall, and there's like a section on the right side where you can kind of go behind it, and there's more of the store, obviously, where all their stuff is stored. So she's like, "Come on, Eric, you come too," and he immediately puts down what he's doing. It like there is no hesitation or anything. Like that was an order. He took it, and that was it.
Isn't that bad to leave a city? Oh.
Ravia's looking around. Is there any obvious iconography of, like, I don't know, Dragoth, any of the First Sons, any stuff that we are familiar with, like,
okay,
just out and about?
Perception, please.
Okay. I don't have advantage. Let me uncheck a thing. And then think.
You're fine. You're fine. There doesn't seem to be any like draconic or any like you saw some of the symbols that were obviously on Absalom's head. Like none of that stuff is kind of showing up here. There is a dwarven kind of stone tablet with like tenets for like hard work and don't ever stop trying and be the best and like all this stuff.
Never shave.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not that she has to because they're all hairless, unfortunately. But yeah, it is very much like an ancient work ethic kind of like thing that she clearly lives by. You're only as good as your last product, that kind of stuff. So it's very much a push kind of situation. That's probably the only thing of note that I would say see that role.
So she would just like linger for half a second to bead that and then follow in after Roland.
Okay. You guys kind of round the corner and immediately you start to see some of these like weapons on the walls. There are some that are again stone, some that are bone, chitin, all kinds of weird armor that's made in like different kinds of patterns and things like that, like using all these kind of natural resources coming in, and all look masterfully crafted. Like they are exceptionally well done from like the hilt, the levels of detail. It's clearly something that they've been at and are quite good at for some time. And as you kind of go down that hallway, you make another right, and the room just kind of opens up to the rest of it. And there's just like raw materials that kind of line the side. There's work tables there. She kind of hastily like clears one off and like dumps some of the stuff onto the other table just to like make room for you guys to kind of sit down. And it's a sizable table. I'd say probably like 8 feet long, maybe 5 feet wide. And Ravia, you are kind of relieved to see that this hallway, because they have to carry like arms and armor and stuff, which is quite wide, is more than enough for Zolan to comfortably kind of plod his way in. And she doesn't. Neither of them seem to particularly mind your friend there. But as she comes in, she turns and. So my apprentice tells me that you have very rare weapons, and she looks directly at Ravia, and yours are quite chatty.
Ravia is looking at either of them with her true sight eyes.
Okay.
Is there anything magic or fucking screwy or some shit?
The dwarf has a magic belt.
Does the dwarf belt look dwarven?
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm not saying that in a good way.
It does look like it's fashioned in a dwarven style for sure.
Okay.
Gotcha. And although again, it's weird. Like beardless dwarves, like a lot of the you could tell there's similarities, but there's definitely like. Yeah, it's not quite. I would almost say like Asian languages, right? Like if you look at like the kanji of one and the other, and you're like, okay, I could see similarities, but like there's clearly differences.
They're clearly different, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the situation you're looking at here. But yeah, hers is transmutation is the magic that's on the belt as far as you can tell. But yeah, that's all you're getting, and she's just kind of looking at you, and he's kind of looking rather sheepish at the moment. The half elf.
Half elf doesn't have anything magic on him?
No.
Well, I assume Roland would be able to catch the magical item on the dwarf lady.
Not unless you had detect magic or some
Yeah.
other vision thing.
Which site? He posted it in the Roll20.
No, that's specific to a person.
Sheepish.
Who's a tactical shit?
I didn't say anything. I didn't say shit.
So you are rather sheepish, it seems. I'll put my cards on the table first, since apparently that's what has to happen. Eric here is talented in a couple of ways, but his unique sight from his mind allows him to hear the materials of weapons, and in some cases, the stories of weapons. So I know you have almost more in metal and finely wrought things than almost most of the noble houses here. And he's saying that there's a very strange language being spoken from one of your blades. Ma'am.
Roland will give Ravia a second to respond, and if she doesn't,
There's definitely going to be sort of like a long pause, and I think right when Roland's about to speak up, Ravia will. I don't know if there's going to be that like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'll just like, she'll wait probably too long before she responds. And
yeah. So Roland will probably start. I appreciate.
So my weapons are special, but I imagine you want a story from them, or
Professional curiosity, if you don't mind. I would just like to see them, that's all. You can hold them if you feel nervous. You have to understand there's not a lot.
Can he hold one of them?
I understand that as well. However, we are doing our best to perhaps not be noticed. And while your assistant has a talent here, I'm not sure we want to make certain things known.
I think what she's trying to ask. We appreciate your forwardness, but can we trust you?
If you couldn't, I would have called the Templars here moments ago. Had you all arrested, probably would have got a cut off of whatever goods you have on and would have called it a day. I am in the business of doing business, but I also strive to get better. And this is a unique opportunity, I think, to do both. I'm not your enemy, unless that was your intention.
No.
Also, clearly, your friend over there is wearing a disguise, because no one has seen an elf like that ever. And I've been around for 3 centuries, so I would know.
Frolum's gonna kind of like do a shy like through the spores and be like, I think it's a good idea, but I know we don't usually see eye to eye on that.
Almost never. And she'll say out loud, sure. We're here to find you specifically.
Oh?
So we need some of your talents.
Before it gets too far, I do want to say anything that Revi is doing that like seems like it's gonna be like charismatic or whatnot, Roland is like poised to do his best.
You're wingmanning. You're absolutely wingmanning. Okay, like, I got you.
Meta-wise, like he's trying to instigate an assistance with the role, but real world, like he also understands that Revi is like very like.
I'm gonna say, roll me a wingman performance check. Give me a. This is like nodding at the right time, or like,
I feel like you're almost like the rapper wingman, though, where it's like anything he says, it's like I'm just looking for weapons. Weapons. We're not sure. We're just your friends.
All right, you want a wingman performance check?
Yes.
He's looking for weapons, boy.
We ain't your enemy.
Weapons. Oh no.
Rapper roll him.
Oh no.
Yo.
Is that a 3 + 5? It was. Okay.
It is.
Your timing's not great, but you're trying.
All right, pick up that dice, look at it, and then tell it knows what it did as you put it somewhere else.
Also, I just have to say, we're getting kitty cam on kitties for I think like the first time.
Amazing.
And she looks so pretty. Okay, I'm
She's a
sorry.
pretty cat.
She wanted to
So-
leave.
She nods. Well, weapons I do have, and given what you're working with, we're gonna have to go for the kind of private stock label thing. Is that what we're talking about? You need some potent weaponry.
Yeah. And she'll kind of like I don't know, like unsheathed by like 3 or 4 inches, just enough so that lava is visible. Before kind of like putting it back down. Yeah. Whatever you have that could work alongside these.
You see her eyes just like light up as that blade gets unsheathed, and just like it's the math meme, right? She's like, "How the hell?" Like, there's a lot of like legitimate like professional curiosity going on, and you could tell she's all right. Are we talking blades, hammers, elements of armor that might be useful? What are we talking about?
Almost entirely blades. I suppose arrows in some case, and armor for a few, perhaps.
Arrows, unfortunately, I don't involve too much with because the nature of our clientele does not want those arrows used against them at a later time. So give me a moment, and I'm going to grab a handful of things. You can speak with my assistant until then. And she just kind of goes to waddle off and opens up what looks like this floor is mostly stone, and with one arm goes down and just starts like grabs a handle that was hidden in the floor and pulls up, and it is like probably like a 6 or 7 inch slab that she just kind of and just dust and everything goes everywhere, and she goes down the kind of makeshift ladder into the underside of the shop.
After Revi's response, though, he kind of like pantomimed like a small dagger, like in the background. He didn't say anything. He was like,
and I'm going to leave you guys there. We'll go back with we're going to start with Quinn on his trip to do manual labor. So
digging up the hole.
It is 10:30 though, Netta, so is this a good time to
oh
take a
yeah,
break,
yeah,
or do
let's
you
take a
wanna-
break. Let's take a break. 100%. I totally forgot about your bladder. Take the break. We'll
you're
come
good.
back.
I'm fine. I'm all right. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna get like too late or anything like that. It's all good. What's that? What are you gonna say, Dennis?
No, we're good.
Okay, we'll go take a break. We'll be back.
Cooking the cheese, nurse.
Bye.
Cheese is the best.
Look like
Bye.
you.
Hello, we're on break, but I wanted to come back and say thank you for rating us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be back in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, we literally just started our break, so we'll be right back. But I just wanted to say thank you and hello, and we'll be back.
Cookies.
That's amazing. I love that name.
Oh,
Come back. Maybe.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
know.
last time on difficult terrain, Revia and Rolos pulled into a shop wearing P. Diddy shiny suits.
Oh my god,
Not-
I'm down.
You
This is
generated
Not even
all
close
the
to being
attention.
true, but here we are. So
It's not even the right campaign.
we're back. We're going to continue with Quinn, who is going up to do some hard labor for pennies on the dollars. So if you don't mind, Quinn,
Fine.
you get up to this lovely Thavna dwarf guard is now, her name's Thavna. She's guiding you through the city and up to what looks like a platform. She kind of pantomimes like, do you want to take the stairs or do you want to take the lift that goes all the way up?
I think he'd be okay with taking the stairs here.
Oh my god.
So be it. So I'm gonna need a constitution check just to see if this takes anything out of you, because you know just by looking up, this is probably like
Then just let it happen. Stop. Let it happen.
okay, yeah. Well, okay.
How
let's do
dare
it.
you? He does that with you all the time, okay? Let someone else have their hand held as they're about to make a bad decision, okay? You don't get to say that for someone else.
Okay, you pass. You basically did like 40 something stories in stairs.
No problem.
Essentially all the way up, and these are all to this place's credit, these stairs are all even. There's handrails on the side, which is very unusual for everything about the city seems well planned, and you're getting a better kind of view of it as you're going up, because there's like plinths and like columns that act as windows, essentially, like the support structures where you can see down towards the city. So you're getting a very good view one step at a time the whole way up. But you do, I'd say probably after like, how long does it take to go upstairs?
I mean, you can find it, man.
I don't know. Is he a
Probably
firefighter?
Probably like I'd say probably like another 20 minutes of just going upstairs. Your thighs are burning when you get up here, for sure. But as you kind of come up the last set of stairways, there's this kind of open double doors that she opens in front of you, and just this searing, basking light comes immediately in, to the point where you just kind of reflexively shield your eyes from how bright the sun is. And as you come out, it is, as they say, the sun is not yellow. It is like a dark, deep crimson with elements of kind of like black that flow over it, almost like a magma flow. And as walking out into the sand, like your feet immediately kind of sink in. Takes you a little bit to kind of, because from that solid, cool stone, the temperature difference is ridiculous. Like, it's, you ever go outside and you're like, I've just walked into a microwave? That's exactly what it feels like, plus 20 degrees. From a North American standpoint, it is probably like 130-ish right now, with the sun kind of just beating straight down on you. But your dwarven guy doesn't seem to mind, and just kind of walks on, like just rolls on up to this. You could kind of see the where they have the scales, where they have a bunch of really interesting looking. They're almost like camels, but they have like insectoid type of like elements to them. There's no hump, but they're kind of like, big torso, 6 long legs, chitin pretty much all over the place, and kind of like a chitinous beak. And there's several of those animals like pulling things in, and people riding them in and out. Sorry, you're gonna say?
The question I'm gonna ask about these animals?
They are not spiders by any means.
Okay.
I did say 6 legs.
Okay.
As soon as there's anything remotely arachnid, I will let you know.
Okay, good.
When she kind of guides you over, and there are these stones that are cut very well, like there's some very like even cut stones, and they're in different denominations, and they're largely square or cubes essentially. Mm-hmm. So there's one that has a number that I don't think you could read, but you can figure out that there's some kind of a number system on there. So there's like one that denotes one, another, and then it kind of goes down 5 or 6 steps of like different types. So she's kind of
based on size, and I'm assuming that's weight.
Exactly.
Okay.
So basically, your job is you're going to see like there's people bringing product in, and the sign that the one thing that you do read is the sign that was over this gentleman's shop, which is Modlax Muckberries. and there are shipments of people with baskets of just a shit ton of berries in like these huge, I'd probably say like maybe 2.5, 3 feet in diameter, like just basket after basket, putting it on a scale, and your job is basically going to be to balance that scale. So you're going to be moving the rocks in a way so that the scale actually balances. And then once it is she's going to write something down, and that's essentially this is her explaining to you, but I'm the DM, so this is essentially what's happening there. But your job is to balance the scales versus all the muckberries that are being placed on this scale system. So if you don't mind, I'm going to need some athletics checks. I'm going to say for an hour, give me 3. And I will need 1 constitution check, constitution check at disadvantage because you just went up a ridiculous amount of stairs.
Yeah, never let me shut up. I've been accused of many things in the Earth. Being smart is not one of them. All right, let's go. Right. 3 athletics and one constitution. Okay. Here we go. I am on normal. Okay. Shit.
Ooh. Hey.
Not so good, but okay.
Yeah, those so the first one you're like, all right, this is Jesus. And if anyone's ever lifted like rocks before, you're like, oh, you're kind of in your head, you're like, oh, that's probably like 40 pounds. Nope. It's like 180. And you're like, oh. So these are some heavy ass rocks. But so the first time you're struggling, you're huffing and puffing. But the second one you start getting into a rhythm and learning how, use your knees, straighten your back, all that bullshit. And now you're like, ergonomically doing it and kind of getting through it. You are absolutely sweating your face off, sir. I'm not sure if heat stroke counts as a disease. But
damn,
if it wasn't for your paladin like elements of it, this would be really bad. But you were fully clothed, you got a mask on, like you were just drenched at the moment. Like I would arguably say that you've never sweat this much in your life.
Okay.
You are losing a dangerous amount of water. For anyone, like this would not be a good scene for any mortal.
Hey,
but
being
you are
fully clothed is good for working in extreme heat and sun. Help keeps the humidity in.
what little humidity he has left is just evaporating off his body.
Wait, hold on, Ninners.
Yes.
Can we say that Quinn is going through heat stroke and is so overheated that he actually sees flanberries? this conversation with flanberries.
Amazing. All right, so you are doing this for a time, and I'm going to say this is the first hour. So those 3 checks in the con save was to see where you're at.
I'll roll the con right now. Okay. Watch me fail this. Okay.
Okay, you are wobbling. It is. You are like you finally the hour goes, and you probably did your count up until when you started suffering from heat stroke was probably close to a dozen of these muckberry pallets. But the last one, like you put something down and you gotta like kind of stand up straight and your head just spins, and like it takes everything that you have to essentially like stabilize yourself. And as you are trying to spot something so you know where the world is, so you stop spinning on you and like try to stabilize yourself, you feel like on your leg, like a light like tap as your dwarf friend is handing you a water skin. You okay there, buddy?
A little tougher than I thought at first. He's gonna take the water skin and just be like nodding gratefully.
Well, you're 1 hour in, sir. So I'm gonna say for the speediness of the work, I'll throw an extra ceramic for you. So here's 6.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling? Do you want to do another? You're looking a little shaky.
I could try coming back some other time. If that's okay.
Sounds good. I never got your name, friend.
Quentin. Friends call me Quinn.
Indeed.
And he's gonna reach down and start. It's Stavna, right? She's a lady, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna start shaking her hand.
She's got a big old.
He's still in character. He's like shaking vigorously here.
Okay, yeah. You get a good strong grip from that. Do you know your way back, or do you want me to guide you back down?
If you could lead me back a little closer to the center,
Sure.
it'd be good. Thank you.
No problem. So she kind of does some like what looks like ledger work, bookkeeping, and then begins to kind of guide you down the stairs. So we'll say in about let me ask you a question. Are you going to take the stairs down, or are you going to take the lift down?
I think we'll do the lift this time around.
Okay, so we'll say in 20-ish minutes, you'll be where you were, like back at Modlex Muckberries. With none of your friends there, probably. So we'll come back to that in a second. Karasu and Euphemi, what are you guys up to?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Revia?
Hello?
Roll me a D100, please.
We already did! With the 86 or whatever. Or 82.
You're doing this over time, right?
Yeah, well, I roll real nice, and you were supposed to give me the fear bonus the last time you did. So.
You still.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh. Not bad for a roll 20 or D20, but that was a D100.
It's not bad for a D20. Hey, that's
hear-
about plenty rolls.
In like a mucus-laced voice.
Yep, here we go.
A mucus laced.
Calling out. Hello.
Why is it so adorable?
You know what?
The little squeak of the hello.
You me being a little tired of being terrified of everything, so she's gonna be like, God, that's weird.
Who are you? There's a pause.
God damn it, kid. I can't with you.
I am a resident. Guest of a sort.
I feel like this is one of those like old people that just like sit and like stare at the window down at the neighborhood. But she's gonna be like, resident guest. I'm also a guest. Definitely not a resident. Who do I have the pleasure of accidentally communicating with?
You may call me Your Highness.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, yeah.
Oh
That would imply that you have a kingdom or something you're ruling over.
Very good. Queen, if you must.
You said I must, so care to tell me what it is you rule over, my queen?
The minds of the weak.
Minds of the weak.
I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Fuck!
Oh.
Why not wisdom?
I
Why
was like,
not?
she's having a good time, but this has to be a real bad time.
God damn it.
This doesn't sound like a spider. No! God damn it! Get away!
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Did you say? Was it safe?
I'm sorry. It's my
I
birthday.
said intelligence save, please.
Oh, god damn. All right.
Okay. That is a huge roll. You feel, and this is obviously not your first mental assault, and so you're kind of used to levels of like, recently it's been brutal, right? It's just been like bashing in there, trying to rip stuff out of your mind, things of that nature. This is far more insidious. This is like light probing. It is like, you could feel it dancing on like your desires, your goals. What are you trying to do? How long do you plan on being here? Like, how many friends do you have? Like, there's these little kind of like questions that are just dancing around your mind. But you find the fortitude somewhere inside just to kind of shunt it out and don't supply this creature with whatever information it may want. but with that, it kind of recoils a little bit. Testy. I'll talk to you later.
Under her breath, Katasu, did you get any of that? Never mind, Katasu. I guess he failed the save. I don't know.
It's like
Katasu found
That would be
a
funny though if that was the result. She's like forcing it out, and then she looks and like, "Did you get?" Oh,
Katasu found a human companion.
The funny thing is, during the break, Nubs was sleeping on one of our chairs, and I picked him up and just put him next to Dubs just to kind of like be annoying. And then he eventually settled on Dubs' lap, and within 10 minutes, both of them are out. So they have assumed their position.
Well, shit.
But I imagine, did Katasu get any of that? Yeah, so I guess you'll get a negative from him.
No.
Or like, here, what?
She's just like, great. That's great. So, I think we're gonna have to limit our spore usage for a little bit, and when we get to our friends, let them know that just like I suspected, there is somebody eavesdropping on us. Maybe not a Templar, but that sounded far worse. And next time, we can find a way to mentally
so much as you're like fucking Romeo and Julieting on your balcony, and you're like, someone's listening in on me shouting.
Stella.
But yeah, she's gonna be like, yeah, if I could find a way to get that lady some mental lozenges, I would. And just, well, she can't probe anymore, so we're just gonna head towards the temple and see what's going on there. Not get too close because Templars are fucking weird, but she's gonna get close, see if there's any weird proceedings going on, and definitely keep her eyes peeled for Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Okay. So with that, you make your way over to the lovely temple, and it is quite lovely when you get there. Again, there's a lot of like there's an archway made of what looks like just raw stone, almost similar to the ones you kind of see in Utah, but it's bleached, very kind of blanched white. There are pillars, kind of one made out of stone, another one that looks like it almost like a waterfall, but it's just like the water is moving, but it's above ground and it doesn't seem to be like obeying gravity very well. Mm-hmm. There's another where you just see kind of the sand and dust around seems to be in like a bit of a cyclone. And you're getting a feel of like just random elements here. There's murals of sun and rain and silt, where the combination's lava of another one, and there's various worshippers, honestly, all kind of worshiping in peace, which is impressive given how some of these are diametrically opposed. But that's just kind of the entryway foyer, I guess, if you would. It's huge. It's probably like a good 80 yards. Behind that, though, is another door, like an archway, which is more engineered. That one's probably a good like 30 yards in diameter. And past that, there is a podium with like a lot of like seats and things like that. Not exactly benches, but kind of, I guess a bench, like a backless bench, as the best way of kind of describing them. Like several of those. There's room on the walls, and people are beginning to filter in there. And at the very tip of your vision, you see a man with no hair and several kind of moving symbols on his head, very familiar, kind of talking with one of his, what looks like another Templar at the time. Doesn't seem like a heated discussion, something very casual. He looks extremely relaxed. But it looks like the sermon there is about to begin.
We forgot something. It's just us to cut our switch. It gets as far out of that man's sight as possible.
Okay, all right.
No fucking way. We're gonna let him turn around and see us here. Even if we are disguised. Nope. Nope. Also, definitely got to warn the others. If only she knew where they were.
Roll me a. So either I assume you're trying to do this stealthily, or do you want to use like kind of a social engineering situation where it'd be more of a performance where you're just kind of like dancing away from the situation.
Yep.
Okay, give me a performance check, please.
That's why she was like, "Oh, we forgot something." All right. I don't trust my rolls. I'm nervous.
You gotta believe.
Oh wait, but I am deceptive, lying McLiar person.
I am deceptive, lying McLiar person.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep, you're like, whoop. We clearly forgot something. Gotta go back down to whatever place we came from. I will need Katasu to make me something similar.
Oh!
All right, performance check. You said right.
Yes, or it could be stealth. He could go the stealth route because he.
Okay, that's much better.
Yeah.
That is much better. Okay.
It's like one of those like cheesy spy things where like a bunch of people walk by and Katasu's just gone.
I feel like Euphemi is the one who's going like, we forgot something. Let's turn okay.
yeah, exactly. He's
gone.
Yeah. But you two have
successfully. Is it the Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. Yep.
Let's hear the video game, man.
But you two have successfully kind of evaded that particular section, but you are at the what's it called? At the temple and can move on from here if you like.
Well, obviously not going towards the temple anymore. From here, do any of the other districts kind of stick out? They obviously came from the fruit. You know what? They're gonna kind of because then there's a chance they would miss them. Shit. We also have to because Quinn's coming too. Can we walk back towards the Flanberry store?
You want to go back to Model X Muckberries?
Yeah.
Okay.
Retrieve our very silly paladin.
Okay.
Did we ever get a spelling on Model X berries here or no?
We did, yeah.
I think I threw it up there, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me a survival check just to see how well you are. You know the way-ish. You've been there before, but it's one of those like, the landmarks I remember are backwards, and I'm not terribly familiar with this area, so I just want to see how long it takes you to get back.
Sure.
Hello?
Hello?
No, we're not doing that anymore.
One more. Why not?
Why can't I? Oh, that's a bad.
What's the worst that could happen?
Katasu, help.
I don't know if it's gonna.
I ain't rolling right today.
Oh no.
He has
These are,
Keystons.
I do want to say that's
nice.
fine. Like the DC, you're not in a fight. The DC is normal.
You're
The
not in a
17.
fight.
Yeah, that's the problem with high level stuff. Is like you get so used to the DCs being bananas for what you're doing, but like you're just trying to find your way back in the city. Like you're not in a maze, you're not somewhere crazy, so that's more than enough to get you back safely. And in a timely fashion.
You made Afra hold her book up back upside down. So.
That's because you were actively stealthing against somebody who was of a high level as well, and into the shady business.
Into the shady bits.
You also rolled like shit, so there was that too. But
Thanks.
hey, I do it all the time. I own it. It's okay. So anyway, you get back to Modlock's Muckberries, and you see he is currently doing business with a client, and it looks like he's selling him what looks like some kind of wine, presumably from those berries. But you kind of come at the end of the transaction where he's like, oh, nice to see you, and come back next Tuesday. We'll have the special sun-kissed flavor for you. And the customer it looks like a human and is just best in town, and just kind of grabs his goods and is on his way out. But I will say, when you get there, Not long after you get there, you kind of sense a presence behind you.
Oh no.
Hold on, just take a minute.
Oh
Listen.
What'd you
It's
say?
so
Who's
cute.
behind us?
Oh,
No, listen to the snores.
I put Dubs' mic on Nubs, so he's snoring.
No, he's not, of course, but yeah,
He is. It's just very low.
there it is.
I heard that.
It's so. I wouldn't have known what it was if you didn't warn us.
The nice thing about these little mics is I could just like put it right in front of his face and he's just snoring into it.
It's so cute.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, yeah, you sense a presence behind you, and you said you were going to turn around.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the High Templar you ran into earlier.
Hey, did we get a name for that fruit we bought earlier? I think
You did.
We did.
Yep.
She's gonna be like, oh,
A boar.
hey, we tried I forget what the
Walnut.
coconut thing is called. Berry nut.
Walnut.
Berry nut. Nut kiss berry. Nut. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna scroll up.
No, I love this. Keep going. You got this.
By all means, continue.
I can't do that.
All right.
What's happening?
The
You know what
snoring
you
is so adorable.
Oh, the snoring!
So she's gonna be like, yeah, Quinn and I tried some boreless nuts, and ooh, he well, he's hard at work right now.
Yes, I've received reports that your friend is doing hard labor. I
Yeah,
salute his work ethic.
he
How did you like the nut?
it was pretty good. Although, if this were any other conversation, that would be what a weird question to ask.
Did we actually try the nut or no?
Oh,
No, I don't think we did.
Yes, we did. Especially you. You really dove into those nuts.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Can I give Maya a -4?
Can you take back her inspiration die?
Can we give her a player-induced negative inspiration? There's a moment where you can tell he's logging something away in his mind, like, oh, I'll melt a note of that. Oh, that's interesting. So I just wanted to see how your stay was here, and if you or any of your missing friends needed help finding anything.
Well, so far, seems like we weren't really smart in how we split our ceramic. And yeah, so I guess Quinn is really helping out. And we're going to be able to trade for a bit more when he gets back. We are such tourists. She looks like she has that look where it's just like, I am embarrassed of everything that has just happened since we set foot in this corner. Actually, everything you told us, we still fucked up.
Give me a persuasion, please.
Here you go. It should have been an advantage roll because she is Liar McLiarson with her performance.
No, it's not with persuasion, girl.
I know it's for. We've been over this, Foos. Do I need to again? I think I need to. Let's fight. We have to fight now. Excuse me, Twitch.
Was it deception or persuasion?
It's both. Oh, it's performance. I was half right. I was half right. You need to put your head down.
I literally said it's not with persuasion. That's
You know
all
what?
I said.
You know what? Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Got
Carry
some
on.
rules for you. Got some rules for you right now.
Cell phones, outstanding. We are gonna continue. So he just kind of I understand. I figure you were all just weary from your journey here, although not your Quinn friend. So again, was there anything else that you wanted to look for?
Well, right now the primary thing on our heads is just making sure Quinn gets back to us. Considering he just ran off to.
I could have a Templar check up on him if that works for you.
Oh, could you please?
I could indeed. That's not a problem. He kind of sticks out, won't be an issue. He pauses for a moment and like kind of holds his hand to his head, almost kind of like faking a scratch, and then
Insight. Could she? Does it seem like he's like psionically communicating?
Give me an insight.
She kind of wants to see how they're like all keeping in communication, how he's been tracking her, and like, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Quinn, but she is using you in this moment to see how quickly they get a Templar over, because from that she can deduce like how closely we're being watched. Because she gets the feeling there's already a Templar tailing him, and he's just gonna call them into place. So you wanted a insight?
Yep.
Please roll high. Thank you.
Very nice.
Excellent. Yeah, that was more than a scratch. That was clearly him just kind of trying to mask maybe not an arcane gesture, but something like an element of whatever he's using. We'll get back to how long it takes for him to get to Quinn, but yeah, that's that's in play, and I'll leave you here. But again, if you need anything, let us know.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. When he comes back, I think he was making 5 ceramic, so we should be able to buy a few more things.
Roll me a persuasion at disadvantage.
Yeah.
She's talking about food, not
no.
blow silver on anything else. I hate you, Ninners.
Girl, you have a cover story and you keep blowing it. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
nice. Let's go.
Saved by the dice.
Like,
Probably.
an eyebrow goes up for a moment, but then you get the look of like a flash of pity. Like, are you really that dumb? But like he just like as soon as it comes up, he just kind of like dismisses it. Yep, that sounds. Yeah. Well, if your friend has more need for financial opportunities, that can be arranged with our office, depending on his skill set. That offer, of course, extends to you as well.
We'll see what state he's in when he gets back. It is pretty hot out here. From what they said, I'm a little worried about him.
Give me another persuasion check, please. At disadvantage.
You have to pretend to care about it? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Around.
You told this man that you walked across the Tyr Basin, which is basic. Like, imagine the Mojave, but the United States.
Hey,
And you're like, oh yeah, it's kind of hot outside.
A lot
Like,
of day brains during that journey. That's why she's worried. She said he took brain damage, and you remember that.
We were also like, yo, we're traders, so we got plenty of money, so that's why we want to see the marketplace. And now it's like, we worked for 5 pennies. So now we can get some food.
I mean, what are you doing, Mike? You're trying to do like engraving.
Oh god.
Got me, nurse. How dead are we?
Yep. There's kind of like another mental log going off in his head. Like, I see. Yeah, it is quite warm around here this time of year. I'm sure your friend will be fine. I'll see you soon.
Please
And,
no.
he begins to kind of walk down the street away from you.
Maybe
Trip him on the
we
way out.
shouldn't buy any more food. She's kind of like saying this to kind of soon. Like, maybe we should just get what we came here for. But say it kind of loud so he can hear as he like walks off.
Oh my god.
As he walks off, Modlock kind of looks at you and is like motioning for you to come closer to him.
Yes, sir.
So I have a sale on these berries. Like he's starting like a sale kind of pitch, but like midway just drops his voice. I don't know what you and your friends are doing, but if you're trying to get at best arrested, at worst decapitated, you're doing an excellent job.
That is fantastic news. Thank you.
It would be funny if it wasn't so sad. I don't know what you're trying to do, but do it smoother, please. Or better yet, do it outside of my stall. But that guy's an asshole. All right, just know that.
Yeah. We really just came here to collect Quinn and maybe gag him.
Look, I don't need to know. In fact, it's better I don't. I'm just trying to give you a warning from, one to another.
I absolutely appreciate that. What a day. She's actually gonna like so you've helped us out twice now. Anything we could purchase here? Any recommended?
Have some muckberry juice on the house, please. It might be the last good thing you have at this rate.
All right, your kindness knows no bounds. How much does it normally cost?
More than you can apparently afford, apparently.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Please just heed my words. Be safe.
Absolutely. She's just gonna wait for a moment with Katasu and be like, I want to go home.
Quinn, you step off this. Despite what it looks like, right? It looks horrifying because it's clearly not metal, right? These are organic, dried, possibly ossified like fragments that have been made into chains, and it is holding a ridiculous amount of weight. Everyone, the people on board not included. It is surprisingly stable the whole way down, and you would think with winds and thermals and all that stuff coming through here, there would be some level of like turbulence, but either it's magically or psionically enabled that it's not really. It seems lighter and sturdier than what it should be for its size. But in your post-sunstroke mind state, you are somewhat impressed at how well it works. But as soon as you touch down, you notice two men in the robes of the Templar come to approach you, one on each side.
Okay, let's keep playing the I'm Thimbleton here.
Oh boy.
Hello, friends.
Oh boy.
Performance, please, if you don't mind.
What's I going to perform?
Ooh, that's the devious nunner's voice right there. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
You're in for a
normal, and I'm
a real
rolling performance.
treat.
Let's go. Let's go. You got this. Let's go.
What you got for me, man?
They
Let's
approach,
go.
and as you play the simple jack, they decelerate a little bit, like a little bit of the purpose is cut out. Hey, sir, your friend, the one at Modlock's Muckberries, wanted to see you and was worried about, or wanted a checkup. So we're here just to escort you back, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, not a problem. Not a problem.
God
Excellent.
damn it, Foos. No.
Just follow us and try not to, I don't know, get lost or put your hands on things that don't belong to you.
Okay.
And one kind of goes in front of you, and the other one comes up behind you.
Mhm.
And they begin to kind of escort you at a fairly brisk pace, which you don't really appreciate given how
Mhm.
ridiculous your thighs are on fire. But they are currently bringing you back towards, as far as you can understand, Modlock's Muckberries. Okay, so we'll pause here. We'll go back to our duo in the basement or not basement, but in the back room with the dwarf person in the basement.
We're a
getting you some
trio.
items. Yep,
Zolan's a person too.
that's true.
That's correct.
But yes, they come back, and you were left with a half elf who's kind of somewhat nervous. He has like maybe a pinch of Asperger's. You're getting there's a level of anti maybe anxiety with people. So he looks kind of way less comfortable than he was with the weapon. But that's kind of, he's just kind of nervously fidgeting in front of you.
Revi is watching him.
Your sword, the language is very scary.
Have you always been able to hear things?
Yes, it's been my gift.
Must have been confusing as a child.
I like items more than I like people.
Why?
Roll of his mind is like, they probably have that in common.
They say what they mean. They're not deceptive, and they have fantastic stories.
Are you getting a story from each of our items?
Yes.
Can you understand most of them?
Some of them. One of them is spoken in the way, but differently. Another is less words, more pictures.
Pictures of what?
Pictures of you.
Water.
Pictures of me.
Water the likes that I've never seen. So much water. And then creatures like sand crabs, but water? Very strange. Fascinating. You are not of this realm.
No.
Or your friend.
He's
His
not
ears
speaking
kinda
to
like-
you, is he?
The water.
Yes. She was motioning towards Zolan, but I realized that was super
Oh.
subtle.
Yeah. I see a lamp. A desert, not unlike this one. But a coast.
Yeah. Do you
Hardworking
ever
man
know...
doing favors for family.
Okay, hold on. I know Foos made the connection. Did Revia ever in character make the connection?
He did mention that.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember if that was a thing. Okay, good. Yeah. Do you ever know the names of who works on, or do you just
Sometimes.
around them?
Often when they engrave their work, that level of pride and patience comes through along with the name.
Bless you, kid.
I also don't prefer speaking with people.
I see.
She motions towards Zolan. That's why he's my best friend.
Aww.
He kind of smiles at him, but doesn't dare touch him.
I feel like Zolan in like any enclosed space is like I have been taught to not touch anything, but I am so large that it's like, what do I do with myself? I imagine he's in super awkward phase too. And it's
Yep,
great.
absolutely.
But she'll quiet down after that. Exchange.
He'll just kind of nod. But one thing strange about your weapon is it doesn't stop telling stories.
Can you understand any of the stories?
No. I get pictures, like accents in the stories. But most of them are guttural language, hard to understand.
For a second, she'll say, sounds like this in Abyssal. Something like that?
Exactly like that.
Yeah. Tell me about the pictures you're seeing, if you don't mind.
Like half giants, but with horns and like bovine heads, waging endless wars, conquering foes, affinity for labyrinths, crushing hyenas, weird fur-covered creatures, contests of strength, of battle, tales of victory. You being presented with that weapon, being forged in plane of fire?
She's gonna take a second because she's like, I'm in disguise right now.
Yeah.
He just viewed me, and what I imagine in the vision was pure Revia, I guess. But like, I think for a second she's gonna be taken a little back, and then be like, okay, so he didn't really acknowledge that. It was just like, it's you, and then kept going, and then we'll respond. Yeah, plane of fire of sorts. Lots of violence, I'm sure.
It was the plane of fire.
The plane of fire.
Yes, big dark bullman, very large, crafted.
What did he use to craft it? Can you see materials?
Very ornate hammer. Had stories of its own. Could not hear though. Also, horned creature next to him. Not like bullhorn, more straight.
Does that ring a bell?
You do a history check at disadvantage because you fight all kinds of horned creatures. I know that you're special.
But if it's a fiend.
Okay.
I don't know. Hold on. Actually, hold on. I don't remember. I was gonna say I don't have certain bonuses because of stuff like that, but I don't remember what it is. So I'm not gonna make up some shit. I'm just gonna look it up.
Okay.
It's okay. He has cheese behind him.
Get in there, Foos. I need your. We don't rarely get Foos cheese. Get in there and start cheesing. Let's go. We'll cheese it up.
Yeah, hold on.
Really get food cheese it up.
No, yeah, it's just
I love you
it's just
guys.
advantage on stuff that they do, mostly in combat. Yeah. So I don't have. Okay, so what was it again? You said
Very kind of like vertically aligned horns almost.
The roll.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, but what were you asking me for? Was it history?
History.
Oh, history. Oh, yeah, that's my specialty. Hold on. Here you go.
Like Cambion, maybe it could be some kind of devil. It's very hard to get a precise thing. You're leaning towards devil, but it's tough to say.
It's kind of unusual if you did that because they're not known for liking each other very much. So they crafted it together?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
While story time's going on, Rollum's gonna sneak a hand on the cube. And did you know people could hear swords talk and weapons? And
Deet is once again furiously writing. No, I was cross-referencing what you guys read before. They have like talents of some kind. It's a survival mechanism to how brutal this world is without gods and proper magic. So it must be some weird manifestation of that particular gift. Or we have seen elements of genetic manipulation. That could be an option. Both Dragoth and that order that was trying to stab you pretty hard. They had evidence of it. Combination of the two, maybe?
does her the analysis and speech and whatnot seem to trigger our new friend?
No.
Okay. And would this sound like clear sentience, maybe?
Some sort of telepathic ability, but this is unique. And I think Roland was also kind of inferring that he's special. Like this isn't common by any means.
Every time I hear Roland, I think Mulan, but with Roland.
That's an image I didn't need to see. I'd put him in the fucking matchmaker dress. It was weird.
After about a moment, you hear what sounds like a stone pottery thing smashing on the ground below. And you're shit in Dwarven, and then as she's now climbing the ladder with no arms, with just a whole bunch of weapons. Eric is just like, no.
Eric, do you need help with that, Eric?
No. Don't ask her if she needs help.
That's why he redirected it to like.
To Eric. Oh yeah, got it. My bad. Retcon. Yes. He's just kind of confused because he's socially awkward and does not have the ability to think on his feet. But she does come up, and there's just like this fascinating amount of like weaponry in terms of like organic and physically, like stonework and some like boots. And I'm gonna start spamming this place with art. And this is my time to shout somebody out. I follow this guy called Sinlair, Sinlaire. I believe. I'll throw up his Patreon in a bit.
That sounds familiar.
This dude is a redonkulous artist and has like this. He has extremely creative like takes on armor and stuff like that. He has like a thing called Sword September where he just does a whole bunch of different like weapons. All of it very kind of non-standard, which I loved, and I was like, this is perfect for this. So I was super hyped when this stuff come out. So I didn't even change the names on these. I didn't want to change anything on here, but I'm just gonna show you some elements of the artwork.
The artwork.
Cool.
Yes. The artwork.
The artwork.
The artwork.
The artwork.
Oh my god, that's dope. God damn.
Yeah,
where's it
super
at?
Cool.
Eh?
I'm looking at. I'm trying to find his a link for him.
It's uploading. Give me a second. Wait.
I thought you saw it already. I was like, how am I missing it?
No. I think I found his art station, and just tell me if this is correct. I just put the link there. But yeah, it is. Okay. I found his stuff. It is incredible. Good God.
This dude is honestly like, I was blown away. And I know people say that a lot, but I was legitimately like, this is insane.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, that's one of them. I just realized I was pulling out the raw files and not the JPEGs I made. So give me a second while I get my shit together. But you're essentially getting these items placed on the table in front of you.
Crimson Choir.
What, is that really
oh, well, we got raided again. Hey, Mandy, what's up?
Hello.
Hello. We're actually having a moment to kind of shout out an artist because we're getting these magic weapon item things. So Sinlair, I think is what it was. We just posted the art station for this artist, but check out this incredible freaking artwork from this incredible artist. Amazing. But also thank you so much for following and for dropping by. Really appreciate it.
Oh wow, that's too big.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Oh geez. That is big, but it's amazing.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Amazing.
By the way, Flandy, I just saw the GIF you put in the Discord of the baby turning around and running away. Dion is exactly correct. That was Euphemia.
Oh my god. Does he have a Patreon? I'm trying to find him. I think
he does have a Patreon.
I found it. All right, I'm gonna link that too because There we go.
Wait.
Got it. Amazing artwork. If you want to support some people in this incredible industry, give them some love at the Patreon.
Okay, Nanners, I gotta know what do I gotta do to get them daggers?
This is so cool.
This shit is awesome.
Yeah.
All of this. I'm staring intently at each one of these. This is amazing.
How many people do I gotta kill, man?
Stop. You're not killing nobody.
Don't kill nobody. Oh, also, yes, thank you, Flandy, for shouting out
He's
Mandy.
definitely going to jail. That's.
Hey, thank you for gifting subscriptions.
He's definitely going to jail. Oh, that's great.
Thank you so much for gifting.
And yeah, Flandy, you should recognize the art style a little bit because the two-handed sword that you got, Vein Splitter or whatever, that is also his
this
artwork
looks
too.
familiar too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all very awesome.
Yeah, it is super sick art, and I was like, this is perfect for what I wanted to use. There's one more nightmare style one I wanted to throw in here.
We'll take one of each, please.
Nightmare style,
Yeah.
you mean like Soul Calibur?
Oh my god.
Yep. Take cool one of
You
each.
just saw it.
Oh shit.
This artwork is amazing, but I need you to just put the Discord picture in on the map for like a second so we could just appreciate
Okay, hold
what it
on.
was as a group, and then you can delete it. It doesn't
So-
I
really-
missed like 30 pages of memes. Goddamn.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
You're memeing hard while you're DMing that.
So little backstory on this meme that is about to be pulled up. What's the guy's name again? Roland. My character's name is Rolim, and like I was like, every time you say that, I think of Mulan, but Rolim. So Foos posted the picture of Mulan, and I had to appropriately add Rolim's face to it.
Because I was like, every time every time you said that, when you were like, makes me think of Roland, but as Mulan, my brain immediately put him in this dress. So then he just photoshopped his face on it. Oh my god.
You really should use Photoshop.
That's a good point. Don't tell me that. You don't need to tell me that. All right, then you should get rid of it. Thank you for humouring us.
No, of course. We're here to have fun, yo.
Amazing.
But yeah, she lines this stuff up, and then she also has armor, 2 pieces of armor. I'm gonna throw up there in a bit, but I'm running out of real estate, so
Yeah.
that's
I
essentially
need to make
for.
them a little smaller, technically.
I could, but I want you to look. There's so many details I don't want you guys to lose.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's too pretty to. But anyway,
It is. I agree.
did I put the sword and shield up? I did not. God damn it.
What the fuck is that? Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm still
But,
trying to figure out what weapon the fragils.
It's a sword.
Fang?
It just has like an arm. If you ignore the tentacles and just look at the arm where it's holding the hilt,
Oh,
that's
I
the
see
sword
now.
itself.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's the creature holding it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nanners,
Yes, sir, ma'am.
how come you like such villainous looking weapons?
Why did it take you so long to correct?
Do you really want to know?
I don't need this energy from you, Nanners.
But yeah, these are the weapons she kind of displays out for you, and it's like, well, since you are obviously of discerning tastes and need non-standard weaponry for whatever I don't need to know you're going to do with them,
So cool.
here you are.
Is that a stump with mushrooms? Ryland needs that. Foos.
You came up. She came up with literally all of these.
Yeah, and armor.
And armor. I really think that
Yeah.
like the weird silence that we had as players is what's happening for Revia too. She's just like, whoa, what is all of this stuff? I think she's just naturally going to be drawn towards swords. Most likely because she rocks a long sword and a short sword. Something similar, if possible. Look at those Loki gifts. Those emotes.
for longsword, rattling rot obviously would work, and Crimson Choir is on the cusp of being like it's long for a short sword, but it would technically count as a short sword.
Could you tell me what this does? And she's gonna point towards the Crimson Choir.
Give me 1 second while I go to find out what it is, because I didn't want to. I didn't want to taint all the cool stuff he did with it. So
you are good. That is, take your time.
I was like, this is
hilarious.
so cool. Like, I'm not gonna.
I always love when you're like, "What does this do?" The DM's like, "I will tell you in a moment."
Yep. Give me a sec. I have it here somewhere. There it is. I'll probably bump up the stats a little bit, but because obviously you guys are trying to kill some cads.
You don't know.
All right.
You don't know it's DM.
So this one, Crimson Choir does. It's basically a +3 short sword. Does 2d6 thunder damage when you hit with it, and in addition to that, it can, as a bonus action, you can burn one of its charges to let out a kind of high-pitched cry through the blade, because it's got like those kind of harp things. And while that's activated, you can shoot razors from the blade, like the feathers pretty much off of it. It regenerates the feathers, obviously, so you're not like shooting your blade and being defenseless. And they do damage within 30 feet, and it's a 5-foot wide cone, so just like blades come shooting out, and then anybody in that has to make a dex save. If they make the save, the person behind them has to make the save. So
it continues.
Yeah,
okay,
it just keeps going.
Like
and then they take 3d6 slashing damage from that, in addition to so it's 3d6 slashing from that, and I think it gets the thunder as well. And it does extra damage against fey creatures.
Fey.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Wow, that's
Takes
incredible.
away from Revive.
Stab roll him immediately. No. Pissed off at you anyway. No. That's crazy. For ease of DM stuff, is it easier for us to look at like the stats of each of these rather than having you like rattle off each item while we're like, what's that do? What's that do? However you want to go about it. I just don't want to.
The problem is like there's so many things like attached to these things, and I'm like I said, I gotta bump these up too. So I don't want to just give you like the naked stat sheets, but for the most part, these are like her masterwork collection. So these are all +3, just so you know. It's really the extra kind of stuff on top of it that you're looking into.
And the other thing is, like, in general, in terms of weapons, we just need fucking weapons, you know? So it's like, I feel like the weapons are guaranteed. So I think in terms of details, we can ask more about, like, armor pieces that you might have, because that's not necessarily something we definitely came here for, but if there's something that's unique and interesting, then we can go through the details of that, just so you're not bogged down with us. Being like, what's that? What is it? What's that?
Let me see. Can I have that one more time, please?
What's that? I told Dubs in the car earlier today, I was like, one day I want to make like a girl with like a valley girl or kind of like annoying accent, but I feel like Nana's just gonna get annoyed with it real quick.
Oh, 100%.
Because every time I do it for like over 10 seconds, he's like, I'm done. You can stop that right now.
I grew up with them. It's too much.
I did too. Nana's surrounded by white girls all the day, all damn life, pretty much.
It's not just, it's the Valley Girl style, which I'm like,
Yep.
Hurts my brain. Anyway, I'm getting some stuff uploaded here. Give me a sec.
Okay, take your time. No worries. Do you want a quick break to get your stuff?
Nah, we can continue. We could ask questions stuff on uploading this, or we could see. Okay.
I guess just in reference to like what kind of armor pieces she brings out, because I imagine they're similar to these, where they're like, you know, made of like maybe bug bodies or anything else. But hi Mandy, what's up? Thank you so much for the raid once again.
We love it though. It's been great, especially for the real serious moments where he's like, "Oh my god!" It's like, dude, my man, there's cheese behind you.
I did, yeah. So we had our little like D&D talk show is called In the Interest of Cheese, and that was yesterday. So we all had cheese backgrounds because anytime we try and like, I don't know, talk the DM into making something easier for us, we say we're being cheesy. So we have cheese all day here, and he just didn't change his background when it was time for him to DM. So cheese it is.
Also, I love cheese.
Also, he does love cheese. Yeah.
I'm a cheese enthusiast, so I
big
just wanted
connoisseur
to.
of cheese.
Yeah.
I love cheese. Right. So we're. Oh my god, that's so cool. What the hell is that?
I don't know, but it's called necrotic needle, and I kind of like it.
So basically, it can. Obviously, you can poison people. It's a piercing weapon that comes out. You can keep it retracted if you want. The poison does a bunch of fun things, including giving somebody anaphylactic shock.
Oh shit.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome. You could also, as a fun kind of thing, you could use it to jumpstart somebody. So like on top of poisoning someone, you could like adrenaline spike somebody. So like if they were down, you could run up and stab them with it and then jolt them with a bunch of, like amphetamine type chemicals and get them back up.
So are those technically like gloves, like gauntlets, or?
They're gauntlets that have a weapon built into them.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
you can use them. They do boost your armor, and it's this one's only a +2, but it's a +2 to armor and the damage that it'd be and the weapon elements of it. So if you had that on, that's what it would do. I'm trying. These images are so goddamn big, and I'm just.
You're doing awesome, Nenners. You're doing awesome.
You're doing a good thing. Good job, Nenners. You got this.
You're doing the Lord's work.
You're doing the Lord's
work. Not that Lord though. That not Dragoth.
Not Dragoth the bitch.
Yeah, no.
The bitch.
The bitch. The salty, the sandy, the silty.
While you're doing that, it reminds me of how we were talking to Carpe yesterday, and he was like, yeah, something dramatic happened, and it was like a pin drop could be heard. And we're like, no, every time we're stressed, we just yell at the DM. Like over each other yelling.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? That's how it happened. Yeah, it's.
Fuck you, knitters.
Yep, there it is. That's how I know I'm doing well. If people are cursing me out, I'm doing my job.
Yep. Then we get all kinds of cheese things out where we're just like, but if he's 10 feet away from me and my aura is 10 feet, can I leave? So much bullshit of like cheesy.
Oh God, I
feel like we go through the 5 stages of grief. And the cheesy part is the denial portion. The fuck you knitters is the anger portion. Like,
I feel like the fuck you knitters is the acceptance stage. To be quite honest, I think that's when we're just like, well, have this then. That's all I can do.
That's all I can do. That's all you're gonna get. Oh, there's one more dagger I missed too. So we'll get that going.
Ooh, I want to see dagger. I want to see daggers. I want to see daggers.
Dagger.
Once it's done uploading. Because I don't, despite being a web app, Roll20 kind of sucks at uploading stuff.
That looks so cool.
That looks amazing.
That looks
oh my god.
Could we make the Revia God?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Can we make that armor from the thing that Revia got or not?
It's the Mega P. First off, you got an antenna.
Yeah.
So
also, that antenna was like wider than us. Like this looks like the body of a peed, and that body could house all of us for a night.
Yeah.
You cast a large person and then wield it like a whip. The antenna.
Oh boy.
What?
You could make a master craftsman like this person could make something in the vein of, if that's what you're going for. But to do like a 1-to-1 kind of situation, it's simply too big and the wrong part.
That would have been cool. Okay.
Yes.
Do not get me stuck on Rage Against the Machine.
Oh,
I don't need to be any more lists.
Cool though.
Did I get the boots in there? Did they come in?
You do. It's a teaser right now because I'm like, those look really cool, but I want to see the rest. Oh my god, are those little grasshoppers? Oh my god.
They're hellhoppers.
Oh, the faces! Oh my god!
Yep.
Hellhoppers. I was trying to figure out where the fire was coming from.
Hell
They're coming from hell, Flander. They're hellhoppers.
Oh, they just hop through hell.
They just hop through hell. Because it's what? It's not bad.
This is amazing.
We came here to trade. Exit store. Loaded up. The shiniest.
What does the Crimson Crawler do in the Hellhoppers?
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me.
No rush. What? There's so many cool things. I need.
Yeah, that's exactly why I was like, as a DM, this is going to be a lot to have to be like, look at this cool thing, look what it does.
The Hellhopper
totally fine.
will negate up to 50 feet of falling damage, as you are able to land quite easily. You can then jump. I believe. What is it? It is similar to a 3. So you can jump about 20 feet in the air, like just like standing jump 20 feet. You can do kind of a long jump of 30. In addition, you can do a meteor kick, where if you run about 10 feet and do like a melee attack and land, you do fire damage in addition to whatever your strength bonus is, and they have to make a saving throw and either get launched and then knocked prone based on the save. And even if they make the save, they still get moved. So
we found Revive's armor.
Yeah. So that's what the Hellhopper does. God dang it. Where's the other thing?
I'm the only person who has like problems with nobility. He can fucking fly. The paladin has a bow. I need it. Give it to me.
And the Crimson Crawler, this one. So you can spend hit dice, and that hit dice will be converted into temporary hit points. And for every 1 that you spend of hit dice, it gives you a +1 to AC until that temporary hit points is burnt out. So that's something. I think it's a maximum of 6. Let me just double check.
So wait, when you roll your hit dice, like, I mean, you actually roll the hit dice. It's not just like.
So yeah, you spend it. So you're like, I want to activate it. So you like give some of your vitality to this creature, and it like puffs up and gives you additional temporary armor, and it becomes hardened, so like it's harder to penetrate. So you get additional AC.
Like the number you roll for your hit dice becomes your temporary HP.
Correct.
Yo.
So that's what that does. It also.
Yo.
You can also get the centipede to basically dismount partially and use it as a weapon, which uses strength modifier to hit people with it, but it does piercing damage and you will grapple people with the mandibles, and the target will be restrained if you hit somebody with it. So
I was about to say, I'm too excited right now, but I was just about to say, like, Roland's like gently like looking over all this stuff and like not as woe as Flandy is right now. I was just like admiring the work and like looking at it and trying to like, oh, I see. So this does this. Okay, so you worked at it. This is beautiful. Like, you know, not trying to sweet talk her, but like still like, damn, this is great.
No, it's that's that, and I think there's one last one. Let me just grab that.
Just as you're doing that, does this actually have like that fucking centipede like tail sticking off your back? Or you like have this fucking big old body hanging from the back of you like a cape?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yep.
Yo. While you pull that, Roland's gonna like start talking about oh my god, that looks horrific. Horrifically awesome.
Darkest campaign. Darkest campaign.
Oh, there is a blood mage among you.
Yeah.
Listen. It's a temporary thing.
Listen. I love like the more listens I get, the more bullshit I'm getting. You're just revving it up.
All right, so what is the blood barrier? That is a tongue twister for Flandy.
To load this up real quick. Where the heck is it?
Honestly, this seems like it requires like a mini session to like go through the shop.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like basically giving you guys these like the full blown
Homework.
items of this.
Homework.
Yeah, essentially.
Got it.
Also, like, keep in mind, we definitely came in with like silver pieces as well. So like, we'll buy all of it and figure it out as we go. You know, like we don't necessarily like it's not like we're not going to cherry pick. If she brings out all of her masterpieces, we're like, that's great. We'll take all of them, put them in the bag, and get the fuck out.
Yeah. No.
You also brought items to trade too, didn't you?
I don't think as much. I think it was more the like we have platinum, we have monies. Like
No, we did bring some things. I think.
I could be wrong.
No, I don't think we did. We were traveling extremely light.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason we kept the silver, because it was like, there's really going to be nothing that this can't buy. So that kind of covers our, like, if we needed to get anything. Revia did, like, dismantle the antenna for other, like, possible bartering or whatever, but they didn't, like, bring things from home to trade here.
There it is. Sorry, I have so many files. I have to clean up this folder.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
So, basically, it looks like regular armor, like not armor, but like it has the bone kind of ossified armor elements. And you can activate the blood barrier to kind of come over you, and basically it's kind of a defensive thing. So you get once you. What is it? You roll and lose a level. Okay, so you have to give in to this. So you have to sacrifice some of your hit points. It's 1d10 plus your character level and hit points, but you gain the following. You get if you lose more than half your maximum hit points, period, while you have this on, you gain +1 to AC. If you lose more than 3/4, you get +2 to your AC. You get resistance to all damage except psychic. The only problem is you can only regain up to half your hit points back, so you can't get healed all the way back. So there is a trade-off.
Oh, no.
Now the obvious question here is, do you take damage when you take it off?
No. In this particular case, it does not. Also, when you have the blood bug on you, it beats with the second heart, and will begin to stabilize you if you go into the dying status.
This sounds
You
like
roll less for your
roleplay.
nasty ass.
Get out of here! I like the crimson color.
You are not getting that one. Revia heard that and was like, "That's going to the druid. You don't get that. This is for you."
What?
Come on.
This one's for you.
So that's the blood bug barrier.
But then, if you give it to Euphemia, Rolos is probably just going to be trying to like sneak, like borrow it for his spells all the time.
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty sure his stealth is garbage. You'll be fine. Also, you have a tail on your back that can restrain him.
Foos is already fucking combat. We're using this against the team.
I'm
Look at that mighty
making
roar.
plans right now.
So
This
is
yeah.
okay. So this is the treasure trove that she kind of puts out, but it's just like,
Oh my god.
this is what I have.
How long did it take you to make all of this?
Well, I had to work with some other people for it because I do have some magic talents, but not in the traditional way. So I had to outsource some of them, and it took a while. She looks over to the some of the what is it, the Crimson Choir sword. That took a while. That was actually a commission for someone who didn't live long enough to see it, but that one's been here for a while.
Well, to be honest, we'll be happy to take all of these off your hands.
There's like a moment of like hesitation, like that's a pretty penny.
I think we're good for it, and I think if we're not, then we'll figure something out. And she'll start by pulling out her how much did she bring? Pardon me. So look, her 26 silver pieces, which feels like I feel real like nasty doing that. Like all this really cool shit, and I'm like, here's $26. What do you think?
She's like, At that amount of silver to hit the table is just like I would ask where you got this, but I kind of don't want to know. I do want to see your swords, though.
I can do that. Would this be enough to cover, or would you need more?
She picks up the silver coin and is like inspecting it because it's like,
Yeah.
imagine someone just came in and just threw like some seriously huge bills. You'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
Do the Walmart marker pen.
Yeah.
Or the Dubs thing where he
Essentially.
like checks the ridges on it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's very thoroughly kind of checking the coin, and then hands one of them to Eric, who takes it and just kind of closes his eyes. And is like, "Where are you guys from?" And like hands it back. This will go for most of it. The blood bug barrier is quite a bit, as is the.
Rolo, as she says that, Roland will kind of sneak into one of his pockets. I think he said. I think he still has a bag of holding, but I think he left like the majority of things behind.
Yeah.
But I know for sure he kept enough platinum. Like I'm gonna say 5 to be able to get out of shit if we needed to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the cat's already out of the bag at this point.
Yeah.
So he'll pull out one of the platinum pieces and simply set it on the table.
Yeah, that would cover it. That would cover my retirement, and then some.
Through the spores, she'll say, "Give her another."
This,
He'll comply. He was like, in his mind, he's like, I was afraid to because I thought you were gonna yell at me, but I'll do it faithfully.
I also feel like that probably looked really awkward from that lady's perspective because he puts one down all smooth and then is like, "Here's another one."
I'll say for the second one, he'll actually pull out 2 more at the note of retirement, and it's like, not that I want you to retire. He'll slide 1 towards, so 2 total towards her, and then slide 1 towards Eric.
Eric is like, okay, and those platinum pieces. Roll me a D100.
You want a 30? Really? You want a 30?
It's not. This isn't. It's not. It's not serious as you think. I promise you.
How about a 10?
How about a 10? You see him take up the coin and is like, "What's the Modron Rebellion?"
Ah!
Oh.
Rolub's like instantly going to like cover his mouth if he's close enough. Be like, please do not. And he's like, he is desperately like searching. He's like, is there a Modron behind us?
Is there a Modron behind us?
In a
What the fuck?
brief bam of displaced air, a very familiar voice comes out.
Yes.
Hello, friends. Join the Modron.
Before he talks, he's going to, like, seeing that this is going on, he's going to look at the. Is it safe to do magic here? I'm looking for an instant yes or no from her.
She gives you a nod.
Does he know silence? Hold on.
Before he gets a chance, Revia cast silence.
Oh, thank God. Because Rolo is just gonna like grab his hand.
Roll me a persuasion.
How do you get this from a coin, Netters? You're so rude.
You rolled a 10 and I rolled a 90. So the
Take that.
Oh my God!
Holy shit.
I rolled
He
higher on
senses-
the fucking persuasion check than I did a D100. What the fuck is this shit?
By quite a fucking huge margin too.
He
By
senses your
almost 4
urgency.
times?
What's your passive perception?
Bananas.
Fucking garbage.
Okay. Yours is garbage, Revaya?
No, mine's good. I'm
Oh,
mad at him because
alright.
he's fucking like overnight. His perception was better than Revia's. So I was
Jesus
like,
Christ.
what?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, got it.
21
Okay,
for
so
me.
all right, so you both detect. As he's doing this, he slides a pamphlet into Roland's pocket.
Yes.
That's
Let's
fine.
go.
That's fine. He's okay with it. If it was going towards anyone else, he was going to smack it out of his hands.
Yep.
So he's just like giving the look like.
Revia,
And they'll
look
just
up.
kind of like just look to her. Mr. What's his name? Cubit?
Cubit and or Riggs.
Riggs, that's it. Yeah. Mr. Riggs, first off, thank you for coming. I have questions for you later. Let's meet in a day.
Meeting in a day. When are we gonna meet? When are we gonna meet? Where? I'm sorry, that's more accurate.
He's been to the Gelatine Manor, right?
Yes. He got bounced out of it. But he knows where it is.
The manor. This is sensitive. You should probably not be here.
Oh. All right.
It's a pleasure seeing
know-
you. Goodbye.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Goodbye. Just fight, the fight against recursion continues. And he out of existence.
I love him so much.
You didn't ask about fuck you.
That was not the time.
I know.
I kind of did though.
It's a good move. You don't want somebody shouting about rebellions in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's first off, he's gonna look at those two and see their reactions.
Absolute
Yeah.
shock.
Revi's
Like-
been doing nothing but staring at them while that happened.
Eric is like it looks like data overload. Because he was clearly reading him, and then the other one, poor Roland is like, was that creature made out of metal? What? From a coin?
It would do. All right. Good ally. Not great at reading situations. I would highly recommend you never say that out loud again, unless you. It kind of looks around. Absolutely need.
To clarify, the person you saw arrive made of metal is not dangerous, but we worry that it could bring unwanted attention towards you.
No, I appreciate that. Okay, yeah, this is a day. I'm retiring apparently. So is Eric. We're okay.
I would
You
recommend
wanted to.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He's just gonna be like, I wouldn't recommend retiring right away. I can't imagine that's easy to fence.
I wasn't planning on it. I just
He'll kind of
It's-
chuckle and hope that
Yeah.
like it. Woo.
I have so many questions.
I
Okay.
also imagine maybe not immediately after we leave, as that would be a bit strange if foreigners arrived and you immediately. But I'm sure you know
No,
how to handle yourself.
I still have commissions and responsibilities to at least see to an end before I entertain that idea. And Eric here, it's up to him, but he has a very promising future if he decides to go into it. Okay, yeah, that more than covers it, obviously. How do you plan on carrying this out?
We have plans for that as well. You said you wanted to see my swords, right?
Yes, please.
I don't know if you could hold one of them, but she'll pull out Lava Lash very slowly, so it's not just like
Right, like yeah.
let me show you my shit. Yeah.
There's lava everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Very slowly, and then she'll kind of like extend it a little bit, just so like she can see that the pieces can kind of like detach and then reconnect it, and just show her how it looks.
You can tell there's an urge to touch it, but she heeds your warning, especially after seeing some crazy metal creature bamf into her office and then bamf out. This is exquisite. She's just like looking it up and down, and that's incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She just keeps nodding her head like that's like just a wonder of the world, essentially.
Yeah. Raya puts it back and then pulls out her mind bleed. This, I imagine, you can touch.
And she just kind of hold it and look at the pommel. That's an interesting design.
It doesn't look familiar, does it?
No, but Eric says it speaks in the way, but the way is cold. Does that make sense to you?
I think in some capacity it does. May you never encounter these creatures. Or if you have, may they never come back.
The security in the city is quite good. She's just looking down the edge of the blade. This is fantastic. Thank you. Again, it's been a long time since I've seen a blade properly wrought in materials that were not alive.
What you do here is remarkable as well. We have come across weapons like this, but we are still thoroughly impressed with what you have to offer.
It's my life's work to a degree, but I hope they serve you well for
They will.
whatever you're going to slay.
Something wicked.
Give me a sec. Let's see if he'll actually pass his wisdom check.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Not bad.
Not bad.
You watch him. Eric is writing on paper, and kind of holds up a question, and it says, "Who is Qubit 5472?"
That was the entity you just saw.
I see.
He'll produce the pamphlet, and should you need assistance, he'd be happy to help. But again, I'm sure I don't have to emphasize how extreme caution to use, given the nature of his being and the nature of this plane.
He has so much paper he could just hand it out. He's like looking at like the pamphlet, and it's just like he's more at awe, like in awe of its construction and like how like casual you guys are with this material, especially as somebody who has to work with it.
We could have traded paper. We literally could have paid in origami.
But you know, puts it away.
We need the origami.
He's one creature, but also many. I don't know if that helps you.
I imagine Rollum knows enough about like hive minds, especially given all the stuff that they've been going up against and whatnot. And he'll just kind of like, and he's gonna point at, I don't know, probably the gauntlets. It's like not much unlike.
No, different. Versions, revisions, almost. Numbers change.
What number did he's gonna look at the note? Does it match the number that he maybe remembers?
Roll me a history check.
Oh, wait, I have that written down.
I wonder if I have it written down. I know I have.
I mean, go ahead and roll that. I didn't mean to say like
I
wait
know.
as in like don't
No,
do it.
I was just I got distracted.
Does this poor man have survived like Afra showing up in their shop?
Probably not.
Oh my god, he rolled an natural 20. Look at him.
Holy shit!
Take that, Joe.
Amazing. Why are you calling out for Joe?
He stole all my good rolls.
Oh, I see. You said that though. Anyway.
The number that you originally heard, now that you're thinking about it, it was a natural fucking 20.
Let's go.
0142.
Every time he introduced himself, the number was different.
Rolf's gonna like, hey Aunt Deke, can you write that down?
I don't know.
Already
what
on
to do.
it with this
Oh
huge
my
quill
God.
just flapping away.
He's gonna. Thank you. That. I feel like that's important.
I don't know, but just try not to put all that stuff here at once, just because it'd be a sign of you having tremendous wealth, and might not be good for your health here.
We don't intend to stay for much longer.
Okay. I'm going to keep you guys there for a second. We're going to go back to our friendly neighborhood Quinn.
Oh my god.
Quinn,
Off to jail.
as you were being walked over to the market,
Okay.
you notice they take a turn that isn't entirely familiar.
Okay, just let me prepare myself for this. Hold up.
You got this. It's fine.
I'm
Okay.
ready. Okay.
Gotta
Okay.
get your prison face on.
So you're probably like 2 blocks away, and you can see the marketplace.
Mhm.
And they kind of turn off to the right.
Mhm.
And what's there is kind of a plain-faced building, but you can't help but notice that there's other Templars around said building.
Okay.
At least 3 others. And the lead one kind of turns around and is our leader has some questions regarding you and your companions, and we were hoping we could straighten a few things out if you have the time.
Okay. Had a rope performance here. Okay. So
Let's
once
go.
again, he's gonna stick with what Foozca here calls the simple jack act.
I fucking never said that. Not once. That was Zenner's the whole time.
I said simple Quinn.
Yep.
Simple Quinn is beautiful. That is.
I
Yep.
agree. Yeah.
Simple Quinn not doing
Love
Joe.
that.
Yep.
Beautiful. Anyway. And he just seemed like tilt his head and he goes, "Oh, I don't know what I can help you guys out with. I'm really tired. I want to go back to my friends.
All right, give me a either deception or persuasion, because both could be true given your current state.
Okay. One is bigger than the other here, so okay, why you gotta make me feel like this, man? Oh my god.
You
Sorry.
got this. You got this.
Heart is being like
You're good.
crazy
You're
right
all right, buddy. You're all right. You're just gonna get
That's
arrested.
part of the fun,
It's okay.
brother.
now. Okay.
There you go. Believe in yourself.
Okay.
There's a moment of like, do we really have to interrogate this poor man? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they're kind of shooting looks around each other, and all right, fine. we'll skip the discussion, but we do need to know, why are you guys so destitute?
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, we appreciate your willingness to work for your coin. It's just curious that traders would come so far with so little.
We kind of didn't have a choice. We lost some of the stuff on the trip over.
Give me a deception check.
Fucking hell, right? Come on.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, where's my deception? That's just the 5. Got fucking them. Okay.
Okay, it's okay.
Hey, so cheese moment. We did lose a lot.
Look at
Roland
that.
deals in blood, and he lost a lot of blood before we got here.
Doesn't
so-
matter. He's got the roll already.
The road is a dangerous place, especially outside the city proper. I'm sorry you came upon hard times. Look, you're free to go. Your friends should be by Mudlocks, Muckberries. Just keep your nose clean. Your group has attracted some attention, so.
Okay. All right. I hope we haven't troubled you too much.
None whatsoever.
Okay.
Good day.
Good day, sir. And he's gonna start walking off. He's gonna start doing the Eufemi thing. He's just gonna start checking if Wendy can be heard here.
So you're gonna start saying hello through the spores?
Well, as soon as he gets near that square, he's gonna start.
Okay. All right.
Are you gonna say it like Eufemi? Hello?
No.
Hello?
He's gonna be like,
All right.
Eufemi, so he'd be saying sister.
Oh boy.
Roll me a D100. Sir.
Okay.
Let's go. You're rolling great. You're rolling great.
Hold up. Oh, Santa María de Guadalupe, intercede por la iglesia. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Here we go.
Oh. I need a Fatima.
Here we go.
The spider.
Oh, no.
Hello.
Yeah, he's going to start looking around for this voice.
Give me a perception check at disadvantage.
A disadvantage perception.
I feel like this is playing into the simple roll, right? You leave him to walk down the street for like 2 seconds, then he's like,
Yep,
Oh no!
At all. Okay.
You don't see anyone.
oh my god.
You look tender.
Oh god! Oh no! That's a terrible word to use. Damn, she's seen your thick ass thighs, bro.
Can we can I help you in some way? Roll me an intelligence save, please.
Strange danger.
Okay, stranger danger time. Okay.
Quinn, do not get in the van. There we go.
Fuck out of here, man.
Do not get in the van.
Oh my god.
And very similar to what Eufemi was doing. And again, you've also been the very recent victim of a psychic assault. This is far more like pricking and prodding and like, oh, what do you like? What are you looking for? What can I help you with? How can I? And it's looking for those like treasured, and it dances a little bit on a friend I'm not going to name for story reasons, but that triggers a defensive response from you. Like, no, you cannot. That is a door you cannot go through, and you shunt her out. And pity. Such touchy minds today. I will see you soon.
Can he reply or no?
It's all in your head, so you absolutely are free to.
I'm not the first one.
Far from it, child.
Oh fuck.
I feel like Quinn did just say, oh fuck.
No, that was on me, man. Okay.
That being said, you weren't far away, so I'm going to say with that, Eufemi, you hear the hello from Quinn. You just don't hear the assaults.
Oh yeah, as soon as she hears the hello, she's gonna be like, "No sports. Mm-mm. We're not doing that no more. Nope. Just come on down to the shop. We're here. It's nothing else."
We're not doing sports anymore?
God damn it! I said shut up. No.
All right, yeah, he's gonna just book it over there.
Okay.
As just try not to keep his nose clean, like they said.
Gotcha. All right, and with that, I think this is a good place to stop. I will get you those full-fledged items during the week. So next session, you guys can see all your cool new toys and kind of go from there. But Kit, good job on avoiding arrest and interrogation.
Let's fucking go!
Excellent.
I know I'm like, oh my god, why are you doing this to me? But seriously, like with Food traumatizing me with Bird. Well done.
Yeah.
You
All
know
right.
what you
Well,
did to this.
that was
that,
super fun.
Friendship.
Yeah, I'm hyped to get into those weapons and items and stuff. That looks dope.
So I look forward to you just being like, 1, no spores. 2, how quickly did they find you? That quickly? Okay, all right.
Shit.
The best part is he's gonna have no reference to when she sent them.
Yeah.
There's that.
I think the reference would be at what point during the past did he get to you? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
but
well, I'm gonna leave it there.
yeah.
Keep talking because I have to find someone to raid.
Well, she's gonna be like, I talked to him like, 20 minutes ago. How quickly did the Templars find you?
There is a time gap between the two. That's you'd both be able to discern that. That's not a secret.
Yeah, but the time gap is what matters to her. She's like, all right, how quickly is this guy sitting in goons? like, what's their reach? What's their response speed? If they got to make a run,
There's probably like a good hour or so difference between the two.
Wait, between the interrogation and then like finding Quinn?
No, between you, I thought you were talking about when you talked to the creepy person and then he talked to the creepy person.
No. No,
Okay,
she's referring to the Templars.
Oh,
That's why she kind of was like, yeah, sure, go find Quinn. Because it was her being like, I want to see how quickly these guys.
That's like 25 minutes. Although Quinn could probably tell you it's because a good chunk of that was because he was on his descending platform. So it's not like they're going to be like, hey, yeah!
That's even funnier to think because they were just like, there's our target.
It's the Mass Effect elevator.
Yeah. Funny, you were going to say something? I'm sorry. I think
Yeah, it's a 3-for. Can I get Roland, Auric, and Cubit's names written out? Obviously, I know Cubit,
Sure.
but the number that was specifically written for my notes.
Oh, it's like today.
Yeah. Because I did actually write down his. Holy fuck!
That's a big jump.
That's a huge jump.
So, Flandy, I had the first one was 1041, I think, or 1042. I forgot what it was. I already closed the thing, but I had it as
I had
there was a
0142.
I had a 0 or a 1 before that.
10142.
So I think I had 1042. Dennis, you let me know which one was correct.
this is the first one?
The very first one that we met.
When we met him initially, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I feel like he's just gonna have to go and dig through his stuff too. Okay. I'm gonna stop dilly dallying.
Is that right? Oh, it's in my bag.
I can be dyslexic, so you never know.
No, you're good, brother. You're good. That's a good question. This was like a year and a half ago, I think.
Yeah.
So
How
my
long have
memory
you
is a
been
little
sitting on
like,
the shit.
this has been a very long thread for quite some time.
Yeah. I feel that.
And honestly, it wouldn't have been revealed if you didn't fuck up that roll.
Listen, I didn't fuck up a roll. You asked for the fucked up roll. You knew it was gonna be sub 30.
So
anyway. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So you effed up the roll, and then I effed up the roll, and that's what we got here. So
all kinds of fucking up names.
Yes.
I'll always be
anyway, I did find someone to raid. We're gonna go raid 10 Kinos? That's what I'm gonna say. 10 Kinos. But they have really freaking adorable like chibi artwork for all their characters, and it looks great. So we're gonna go say hi to them and raid them and say hello and stuff.
Show me those pretty cheeks and big heads. Come on, come on.
Thanks for everybody who is watching, and thank you for the subs. It was amazing. We
Yay.
appreciate
Correct.
it so
Thank you for
much.
the raid.
Thank you,
and
thank you,
thank
thank
you.
you.
For the everything. We'll be back tomorrow with some difficult terrain and
With some
have a wonderful
trauma.
night.
If you want to see
Bye.
some trauma and death, definitely show up tomorrow.